of course, has had some success. Individual success at the Warriors, I suppose, but a very important player in their spine. And indeed, for the Penrith Panthers, they've had great team success since he departed. But Lennigan, a very important part of that Warriors side. Luke Summerton is one of those 13 players that's been let go, I suppose, for next year at MC, and he was named to start hooker in the absence of Mitch Kenny, but Brad Schneider in jersey number 14 will start hooker. So Luke Summerton, Dane Laurie, probably the two most high profile out of those 13 players that were cut through the week.
Yeah, Dane Laurie is probably the best of them, I guess. He's the fact that I think Dane Laurie is a superb backup fullback, so he'll find a top 30 spot next year. And I don't think he's a week in, week out NRL player, but he's a very handy depth piece.
Yeah.
Is he talking to the Sharks or something?
Dane Laurie?
Yeah.
You'd know if you're talking to the Sharks.
I thought I read something like that.
Keep your texts coming across the rest of this afternoon and evening, 0467 920 222. A reminder as well that for all of our content across the weekend, you can find it, including today's pre-game show, in our ABC NRL Daily Podcast feed. Our guests were our great mate Ryan Hoffman and Christian Wolf. You can catch up with that in the ABC NRL Daily Podcast feed. In fact, all of our content from the weekend will be there, and I'll also record my Monday morning podcast segment called Six More. I've still got to figure out who's doing that actually, by the way, this week. Might be Louis or MC. Just search for ABC NRL Daily wherever you get your podcasts, or find it via the ABC Listen app. So
I'm exclusive on Insane on Monday.
Oh, there you go. I'll leave you alone then. And Zano, who's just finishing up his rugby call, will be doing that. Rugby's still going, in fact. Argentina 28, lead the Wallabies 19. So I was...
You're going for 3 hours.
Yeah, and I've got a thing on too tomorrow.
Seriously?
I was supposed to have...
Didn't kick off at 2.
ACT and Queensland is joining us shortly, but I think they're still...
It's been going for 3 hours.
I've got something on tomorrow too. It's got Luke Who's Talking.
Yeah, tomorrow's Sunday. We'll be in Canberra all day.
Look Who's Talking.
Yeah, that's what's called.
Luke Who's Talking.
Yeah,
is that your TV segment?
Yeah.
With Luke Ball,
that's
one of our
one.
AFL experts.
That's the
there
one.
There we go. Queensland Cup Finals.
What is going on?
Week 2. This is a real thing. He's being fed income. There's a TV segment on ABC News Breakfast on a weekday, on a Monday, that Louis is on, called Luke Who's Talking. And he's Luke, and he happens to be talking.
To another Luke.
In English?
Yeah, but it's...
Luke Lewis does NRL, Luke Ball does AFL. It's a very... Look, it's a good concept. When it was thought up, you had to be there. 0467 920 222. So waiting and seeing when these listeners join us from the rugby, which is going forever. And Argentina have won that 28-19. Queensland Cup Finals Week 2, Redcliffe 22. Townsville Blackhawks 16. And early up winners in the NRLW were Broncos 50, Cowboys 4, Titans 17, Raiders 16. That in Golden Point extra time. So Mount Smart Stadium looks a picture. It's always sold out, always heaving, fantastic atmosphere. The Mount Smart Joker is there. Roger Shuivasi Sheck is there as well, I'm sure. They've got the Warriors signs in the crowd. And that's one thing, Louis, is they will have this raucous home crowd behind them, the Warriors.
Yeah, they've got a massive crowd. They've had sold-out crowds there all year, so no surprise, again, there this afternoon. But it's just going to be a massive opportunity here for the crowd to really try and get the Warriors home this afternoon. But they've got a big task in front of them, so they've got to be loud. Every opportunity they can, they've got to be screaming and going absolutely nuts, and hopefully they can get a couple of referees calls go their way as well.
Louis, there's no question the Warriors' season has been compromised by injury of late. No Luke Metcalf, no Mitch Barnett. What attitude will they need to have today here at home if they are to withstand the might of the Panthers, especially at finals time?
Well, the attitude's just got to be, they've got to believe. They've got to believe they can do it. They can't just be going out there going, oh, you know what, it's going to be a tough game. Hopefully we get a few calls. They've got to go out there and believe that they can get this job done. And that's just, and you know what, they can do it. We've seen them complete really high this year. They run hard and direct out of their own, and they get into a really nice flow. They do that and they keep the pressure on the Panthers. They might make a few mistakes, get a little bit nervous, the Panthers, knowing that it is an elimination final. But for me, it's about attitude and understanding that they can win this game if they get it right.
What's the key focus, MC, for, I suppose, the Panthers, say, on their side of things?
Keep it simple. They've been here plenty of times before in do-or-die clashes. The fact that, they're doing it for them, outside the top four. Won't bother them at all. It's an extra game that they'll need to play, but they'll fancy their chances against the Warriors. Just in terms of the controlling the tempo of the game, that's what will be key for the Penrith Panthers.
I had a look as well as far as which team has the most finals experience. No surprises, the Panthers certainly have that. The Warriors are surprisingly up there as well, third of the 8 competing finals teams, albeit most of those come from James Fisher-Harris, who of course have been part of that Panthers outfit.
And Roger would have played a few too.
Of course, yeah.
Well,
what about the weather in Auckland?
It's raining. It's coming down. So fans are reaching for the ponchos as we speak, and it's gone from looking quite nice and fine in the last few moments to now coming down quite heavily. Kick-off just a few moments away at Mount Smart Stadium. So that's the thing. James Fisher-Harris, he knows that Penrith system so well. We talk about, of course, their coach, Andrew Webster as well, to see if he can consolidate an overall successful season for the Wars. Finishing 6th, they looked short of top 4 for most of that year, of course. Fell apart with those injuries late on the run home. They lost 7 of their last 11 since the round 15 bye. Lost 5 of their past 7, having most recently been beaten by Manly by a point at Brookvale in round 27. So the Panthers are the Pink Panthers on the road at Mount Smart Stadium. Can they keep their bid for a 5th straight premiership win alive? The kickoff here is not too far away, as you are with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis. The rugby continues, so anyway, we'll get the rest of the audience to join us very, very shortly. And indeed, you can find us, as always, via the ABC Listen app uninterrupted. 2 massive elimination sudden death finals. Warriors, Panthers here, and Sharks, Roosters in the Shire later on. Louis, who holds the key for the Warriors if they are to be successful at home this afternoon?
I feel like Wade Egan. I feel like he's obviously coming back in, but his running game out of dummy half is really, really sharp. I feel like he's got to get him on the front foot. Fisher-Harris has got to lay a bit of a platform. Jackson forward as well. And then they're outside backs. But that's the way I sort of see it unrolling. But Wade Egan out of dummy half, he's got to ask a lot of questions, get out, run, threat, push up and support, and be really good in defence as well.
The Panthers make their way into the tunnel, and Isaiah Yeo and Nathan Cleary lead them out. Their fullback is Dylan Edwards, wingers Paul Alamotti and Brian To'o, centres Isaac Tungo and Casey McLean, 5'8" players Talangi, and halfback and co-captain Nathan Cleary, co-captain Isaiah Yeo at lock, back rowers Scott Sorensen and Liam Martin, props Moses Leota and Lindsay Smith, hooker is Brad Schneider, the bench is Luke Somerton, Liam Henry, Isaiah Papali'i and Luke Garner. The 18th man is Tom Jenkins. Coach Ivan Cleary for the 7th place. Penrith Panthers looking for a 5th straight premiership win. And it's a rainy Mount Smart Stadium which greets the Panthers. The Warriors make their way out. Fullback Charles Nickel, Klukestar, wingers Dylan Watnays, Lesniak and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Adam Pompey and Leka Halasima in the centres. 5'8" Chanel Harris-Tavita. Halfback Tanner Boyd. Lock Aaron Clark. Back rowers Kurt Capewell and Rana Niokore. Props James Fisher-Harris, the captain, and Jackson Ford. And Wade Egan is the hooker in his milestone game. Bench is Timati Martin, Dimitri Vaimonga, Tanner Stowers-Smith and Sam Healy. 18th man Eddie Eremia Tawava. And their coach is Andrew Webster. Our referee is Grant Atkins. With our touchies Chris Sutton and Phil Henderson. And Liam Kennedy in the bunker. Your tip, Luke Lewis?
Panthers.
Michael Carianis?
Yeah, Penrith as well.
It is now bucketing down there at Mount Smart Stadium. So ref Grant Joey Atkins will give them the all clear very shortly for the first of these elimination finals on ABC Sport across this Saturday. No second chances. Sudden death Saturday. Here we go. The crowd counts down. Panthers kick off. Warriors to receive in this elimination final of 2025. The Warriors with the footy out of their own end. Fisher-Harris, big hit up there first off the Otter, and he'll play it out centre field there from his own line. Egan, as the Rangers pause so heavily, comes left-hand side of the park, trying to get some burst going here through Aaron Clark, and Aaron Clark is stopped in there by Lindsay Smith, makes the tackle 25 out. Right in the front row, Jackson Ford gains a quick 10 metres inside the 25 seconds there at Mount Smart Stadium, and now penalty. Well, if that bit's Penrith going the way of the Warriors inside that first 40 seconds. So no scores so far. Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis at Mount Smart.
Yeah, it wasn't much in that. I thought the play the ball speed was okay, but it's just that Ford got up and he just fought a little bit harder on the ground, but it's the way that he got up as well, nice and fast. But a penalty early will give a really nice little opportunity early. Oh, they don't find touch.
Go out and over the touchline, so it's brought back here by Alamotti. He makes a break over halfway. An ankle tap there by Egan. 30 out, 5 in from the western side. No team in the NRL era has won the comp from outside the top 4. So Penrith's new mission starts now. Here's their first set of the game. Played by Tungol, 25 out. Tony Schneider across through hands. Edwards onto Liotta. And he's wrapped up there in the two-man tackle. Clark was there with Ford. Centre field 20 out. Here's Yo on play 4. Spun a full 360 there by James Fisher-Harris. 12 out centre field. Connor goes left-hand side. Deft kick now from Cleary. Fielded by Nickel. Kluke's there in the in goal. And he's grounded. And it will be a line dropout. Warriors. Minute 40 played at Mount Smart here on ABC Sport. Warriors nil, Panthers nil.
Yeah, that's going to be a big difference here. Is Nathan Cleary's kicking game in this wet weather. His short kicking game is great. And he comes up with a really nice short kick in, gets a repeat set. And it's where the Warriors have got to be smart. They've got to keep the ball down the other end of the field as much as possible.
They go on a true, straight, long line drop out. Bounces down towards the halfway line. Picked up by Liotta. Charging back there into Capewell and also Jackson Ford. And he's dragged down here. 40 out, 20 in western side. Schneider across now again to Liam Martin. Biological medalist from last year, Liam Martin. The first forward to win it since Luke Lewis. Right now, Schneider. Open side left. Yo. Catch and release now for Lindsay Smith. And he's brought down now by Niokore. 20 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Danny Schneider. Cleary again here. Finds Liam Martin right edge. And he's dragged down from behind there by Egan. 13 out now from Southern uprights. Cleary. Little show and go there to Lungy. Off now to Sorensen. 4th time premiership winner. An ABC Sport friend will play it. 8 out, left-hand side of the sticks. Last play Penrith. Short on left they go. Cleary to Langy. On here, it's been lost. Lost up that left-hand side.
Probably an early tackle here. The
ref will say, yeah, potentially To'o was tackled. We'll see.
Got a no try. Can we just confirm if that's a professional foul with a grab on McLean prior to the catch?
Beg your pardon. So we'll see what Liam Kennedy says here in the bunker.
Place Delaney could have won himself here.
Yeah, I reckon the exact same. I didn't realise he broke that tackle. And he is hand on him.
Dallin wraps up Casey McLean.
Well, this is a huge ball now. It's going to be either a sin bin or a penalty try.
Yeah.
Probably a sin bin.
Even it's played here, the Panthers may have the first points.
Because even the momentum, he still gets him over.
Just looking at the actions from Dallin.
Huge ball.
His hand's on his shoulder, so he's already touching him.
Dallin touches the ball first. Now need to clear any touch from Casey.
But what about the hand, mate?
Touches the ball first.
The right hand, yeah. Well, Dallin's hand does touch it.
But they're clearing the contact.
But they can't clear the contact. His hand's on his shoulder already. Look at that.
Yeah. Before he touches the ball.
Correct. It's tackle without the ball.
So I think then Kenny's aware of how significant this may be.
Dallin initially touches the ball, knocks it backwards, then Casey knocks the ball on.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Decision made.
Right. No call. He's not even looking. I don't know what game he's watching.
No penalty
Back with the
try.
Warriors, restarted the count, and knock on Casey. Scrum to the Warriors.
They're saying he's touching Dallin's Dallin.
Isaiah Yo's blowing up there at referee Grant Atkins.
It goes backwards, then Casey knocks it.
But what about the tackle before he came?
Boys, not having three of you coming in.
There we go. With Cleary, Yo, and someone else coming in towards him there.
It's a knock on
Referee
Casey after
Atkins.
Dallin.
And then at least Wingy team the Warriors, the Panthers. They're not in your face with the referee all too often.
That's a lucky call.
Scrum feed Warriors, 10 out centre field. Egan, open side left. And dragged down there in a 3-player tackle, 20 in from the western side. 15 out from their own line here, the Warriors with their second set of the game. Pass was fired left there to Capewell. Initially named to start the centres, and now he was in that left edge in the back row. Played to Egan. Through centre field now to Avasa Sheck. Escapes a tackle of Smith, now dragged down there. 30 out by Liotta. Play it now, tackle 4. The Warriors, good punch here from Aaron Clark. Gains a quick dozen. 8 short of the halfway here. No score so far. Warriors Panthers on ABC Sport. Through hands, it comes back to Harris to Vita. And he's put on his back on the halfway line, 20 in from the western side. Last play, Warriors. Still no points in this game. Tanner Boyd, end of the set. His kick high in the air. Down towards McLean's wing. It goes out of the full. No, bounced away there for To'o. He brings it back. 22 out. 42 out. Back from his own line. From the northern end of Mount Smart Stadium. So 4 minutes played in this first half. Warriors 0, Panthers 0 on ABC Sport as Edwards receives the ball here at the fullback, slides in on the Capewell tackle. Tackle 4. Schneider off here again to Alamotti. And Alamotti, a 3-man tackle, was claimed there initially by Fisher Harris, and now Liotta gives him some burst. First receiver, 5 inside Warriors territory, 20 in western side. No score so far, 4.5 play, elimination final. Isaiah Yeo kicks into the set, goes down towards Watnays Lesniak, and the winger for the Warriors against his former side is put down 25 out from his own line.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible kick there from Isaiah Yeo, but it just shows the miscommunication without Kenny at dummy half. Brad Schneider just comes reeling out of a tackle there after heavy collision.
So, Nickel Klukstall, play at 30 out. Comes to Tuivasa Sheck. Spins out of a Lindsay Smith tackle. Keeps going RTS, but he is tackled now 40 out from his own line. Egan on here to Niokore, and he bounced off one of those will-be tackles there in Scott Sorensen. Metre short of halfway. Egan goes to his left-hand side now. Off to some burst there from Aaron Clark. 40 out from the Panthers line. Running kick comes from Harris to Vita. End of the set here for the Warriors. They chase it all through. Up goes Alamotti. It comes down here. I think it came fourth Alamotti. It will be Era Penrith. And a Warriors scrum, deep in attack at that northern end. So no score so far in this sudden death final. Warriors 0, Penrith 0, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, that was good work there by the Warriors. A nice kick, but it was the kick chase that makes this play. And then you got a couple of Warriors players that get down there, just get in the face there of Alamotti, and he couldn't catch that ball. That's what they need to do. They need to keep putting pressure on the catches, especially in this kind of conditions at the moment.
Well, Garianis.
Brad Schneider's coming from the field there. We mentioned earlier the fact that he reeled out of that tackle heavy collision. I think it was on chance Nickel Klukstad as he tried to make a tackle, but Schneider off, so you'd assume obviously Luke Summerton will come on and he might have to play some big minutes, the fill-in number 9.
Chef Robbo says, I'm really concerned that a bad bunker call like that will dictate the outcome of the grand final, let alone this game. Well, you certainly hope not. No officials or bunker officials want that. We welcome listeners through ACT in Queensland joining us from the rugby, from the Sydney Football Stadium. We're at Mount Smart Stadium watching the game here from the ABC Sport HQ boardroom. Warriors Panthers deal all you're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis, and it's 5 minutes and 45 seconds played. Warriors with the scrum feed, 20 out to the Panthers line. There's an angled run now from Halasima. Play at 12 out. Right-hand side of the post. Dummy half Egan against his former side in his 150th milestone game. Jackson Ford gains a quick 9-10 metres. Claimed there by Yeo, 5 away. Tackle 3, Egan. Back here, Clark inside ball, Fisher Harris against his old mob in a 3-man tackle. In their first was Summerton and also Liotta. Egan goes to his right this time. Boyd onto Clark. Taken down low there by Talangi. Up top by Sorensen. 8 away, right-hand side of the post. Egan to Boyd. Darts back in field. Surrenders now. Second last play in driving rain there in Auckland. Nil the scoreline so far. Warriors, can they find the first points of the game? Open side left they come. Kick from Harris to Vita. Up goes Capewell. Kick was too deep for him. Did it come forward for Panthers? Yes. It bounced there into Tungo and went forward. So Warriors scrum again inside that 10-metre line at northern end. 7 going first half on ABC Sport. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, again, another one of those little kicks over that corner, and in these conditions, like I said, are hard to grab, but really good chase there. Nice little bit of placement there also from the Warriors there in Chanel Harris to Vita. So good work, and another error there for the Panthers, but they're doing a good job so far defending their line. He's going to do it for one more set. The good thing is too, the Panthers are fresh at the moment, so it would be hard to get across the line, but another opportunity for the Warriors.
So here they go. Boyd feeds the scrum. Egan comes back left-hand side. There was no play waiting for him there. Loose ball dived on by Cleary. And that will be deemed Warriors penalty. And the players too close, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, there's obviously...
This is the bash.
Oh, here we go.
It's the bash bros
coming in from all angles here.
Moses and James Fisher
and James Fisher Harris, former teammates. James Fisher-Harris, a key part of that, I guess, finals experience for the Warriors and what he brings across from Penrith. And his former teammates chasing their 5th straight grand final win. But a referee does separate them. And how did it start here? We didn't quite see. It was sort of slightly off the ball, but that will be. Oh, he would have sort of by the scruff of the neck here, Liotta on Fisher-Harris. That's what kicked it off.
Mate. Yeah, good.
Your text are always welcome, 0467 920 222. And we'll bring you, of course, the Sharks and the Roosters later on at Shark Park Elimination final there.
And surely they're taking the 2. I don't know what they're thinking about.
Still avoided points so far this game, so it can avoid the gestures.
Oh, no, he's waiting for the
kicking tee. And there it is. One of the ball kids. So Tanner Boyd and the Warriors will take the 2 here off the back of that early penalty. We'll be in a slight angle, 20 out left-hand side of the sticks.
Yeah, pretty fast start here from both sides. Very physical. Obviously, Brad Schneider getting the sets for a HIA. Get to see Moses Liotta and James Fisher-Harris, the long-term front row partners of the Penrith Panthers, go at it. But, yeah, pretty fast start from both sides.
Penalty count 2-0 the way of the Warriors. Might soon be scoreline 2-0 as well. Northern Hill is closed, I suppose, owing due to the rain. And over it goes. Up goes the Pyro. Scoreboard reads Warriors 2, Penrith 0. In the first of elimination finals on ABC Sport, 8.5 played first half. 0467 920 222. Stuart from Aspley, thank you for your text. Ansel Levine, listening across the ditch. Happy Sundeath Saturday, Springy Louie and MC. Going Penrith. Always love my ABC footy family. Red Chef Robo's text earlier, thank you. Paul Wollongong says that bunker decision was disgraceful, and whoever made it for that bad Monday now, it may be looked at with quite some scrutiny. Paul, thank you for your text. And I'll get to some of your text. Big Daddy in Coffs Harbour says Warriors to win. They lead 2-0 here early on. 9 gone first half, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, it's been a good start by both sides. The Warriors just getting out of their end nicely, but it's their kicking game that's really got them on the points, on the board nice and early. So they've got to keep doing that, running hard, running direct, getting over that halfway line and hoiking that ball up nice and high.
Fisher-Harris hits it up here, 20 out from his own line. Pass comes through centre field Clark, brought down now by Isaiah Yo. He's 25 out middle of the park. Egan goes short side right here. Boyd, dummies, and now dragged down from behind. The ball come loose. No, penalty again going the Warriors' way.
Wow. Well, they're getting a lot of calls go their way at the moment, the Warriors, so they've got to use it to their advantage. But yeah, Penrith have got to fix this discipline up. It's already, 3 penalties to 0, and it's only 9.5 minutes into this game. So Ivan Cleary will not be happy with the Panthers' discipline at the moment.
Tanner Boyd finds touch on the eastern side of Mount Smart Stadium. And they'll tap here, 45 out from their own line at Southern End. Jackson Ford, the Dragon, 27th NRL game. Scored a try last time these sides met. Round 16 at Mount Smart. Panthers won that by 10 points, 28 to 18. Inside Panthers territory they go. Play 3. Egan, open side right, Harris to Vita. And now Tanner Boyd on here to that right-hand side. Clark's been busy. In fact, here carrying the footy is Diakore. 40 out from that northern line. The Panthers are defending. Quick burst here from Jackson Ford. Gains 15 metres. And he meets 3, making 4. Penrith players that peel off here. 30 out off the deck, scooped up by Wade Egan at dummy half. Boyd to Harris to Vita. On they go here again to Adam Pompey. He's to within 15 of the Panthers line. Left-hand side of the ground. Last play, Warriors. They lead 2 points to 0. Kick from Harris to Vita goes up. It almost comes off the crossbar. Panthers got on his way. Falls loose. Is there a grounding from Nickel Klukstad? No. It's ricocheted away over the dead ball line. And I think Ref Atkins will say it was firstly knocked on by the Warriors in attack.
It's knocked the dead off Penrith. Got a no try.
Dead.
It's just sort of review that there was no grounding by the Warriors on the way through and any escorts.
You drop out here anyway for the Penrith Panthers.
There's Dylan Edwards again, who's had a...
I was going to say, this is a key focus now across this game as far as his last few weeks.
There's no escort action from the Penrith players playing on.
He goes up to contest the ball with Jackson Ford, and
He actually gets a good jump on it too.
he knocks it off.
He loses the ball to his teammate.
Yeah. And then we'll see what happens even.
There's a knock-on from Penrith. We're playing through.
That's in the field of play, that knock-on, I think, suggests. So
It's going to at least be Warriors ball.
Yeah, he gets knocked dead from Penrith.
Yeah, hang on.
But I tell you what, he gets a good look at it there.
Not the dropout.
I don't know, Woods. It just
Then off the head of the Warriors, playing on.
Jackson.
Is that an offside? Knock on.
Did Klugstar get there?
Sorensen definitely gets there first.
Yeah.
Knock on there, but
So,
The ball is not grounded by Scott. We're playing on.
That'll be a scrum.
they're not grounded by Chance either.
The ball is then knocked on by the Warriors. Decision made.
So, that'll be line
We've got a
dropout.
double knock on. First one by Dylan.
Panthers.
we scrum.
And then Chan's
scrum,
got a
beg your
scrum. Where do you want the scrum?
So,
do you
more
scrum,
repeat
Neville?
ball here for the
Johnson.
Warriors. 10 out from that northern
Where do you
line. 11
scrum?
gone first half here on ABC Sport. 2-0 is the Warriors lead.
After we stand a lot defensively at the moment, the Penrith Panthers, the Warriors are throwing a lot at them. Possession, 65% with the home side,
Wow.
so they really need to find a way to score.
The other thing is too that these high balls, they don't look comfortable on them at
Yeah, it
all.
was hasn't
Any
comfortable
of their back three.
at all.
Not in these conditions as well. Very wet conditions. Might have just stopped raining there as well. They got right-hand side of the scrum as Halasima is playing. Play it 7 metres out. Egan goes short side right. Nickel Klugstar bursts through. Held up there by McLean. Meter out from Panthers line, northern end. Egan on play 3. Back here again now to Aaron Clark. Straightens his run back toward the post, but he's standing here the tackle of Summerton and also Leota and Yo. Play it now for Egan. He darts away. Shed with Boyd. Onto the wing now again. Nickel Klugstar had Dowell on the outside, but the fullback is claimed. And he'll play it now. 7 out. Second last play here for the Warriors. Boyd to Clark. Flat ball Fisher Harris. Back there to his fellow big man in Aaron Clark. This will be last play. Warriors not out for the Panthers line in front of the uprights. Egan on to Boyd. Now Harris to meet up through the gap. Capewell bursts away through the pass back when no one was there waiting for it. Apart from Paul Lamotti. And he's wrapped up in the in-goal area.
Line dropout.
So this will be line dropout from the Panthers. Repeat set Warriors. 2-0 they lead in the first 12 minutes of this first half on ABC Sport.
Yeah, beautiful line there by Kirk Capewell, but when he went to pass to his left, he was just hoping that one of his teammates had run around or was pushing up nice and close, and he just passed, and it was hoping, but it went to Paul Adamotti.
Oh, flat dropout beats.
Great kick.
Went through the hands of Pompey and goes out on the western side. So there'll be Penrith possession. 20 out from their own line at Northern and the Warriors to Penrith nil the scoreline. Dennis on the far south coast asks what was the last night's score. Yeah, Melbourne 26, Canterbury 18. And of course, the winner of this game plays the Doggies in the second chance semi next week for Canterbury.
That was an intentional kick there from Nathan Cleary as well. The way that he just belted that along the ground in these conditions, smart play.
And here goes a burst now from Casey McLean. Debuted round 17 last year. It's his first final, Casey McLean. Yeah, Woods on his first radio. Put him back there by Capewell, and also in there Jackson Ford did well. And the ball's, no, it's a penalty going away, the Panthers. So Brett Atkins said it was a little overzealous there from the Warriors defence. That's their first penalty of the game, Louis. 13 and a half played first half. Warriors 2, Panthers nil.
Yeah, I want to know what the penalty is here for. Maybe they said held, and I think they just kept getting driven back, and they couldn't hear in the Warriors players. So just trying to...
On report.
On report. I have to see a look at this because...
But I put that down to Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards is leaning out of the tackle, trying to get down to the ground.
When you guys are unhappy with what's happened, we've come together. It's going to be a long night. We're not going to have it anymore. Do you understand? Thank you.
There we go.
Here we go, here, Louis.
Yeah, but see, he's diving down. He's trying to get to the ground.
Yeah, that's not even a penalty. Yeah, that's not even a penalty. Dylan Edwards scores that by, as you said, Louis, reaching for the ground and trying to find his front as quick as he can.
Good.
And he's put himself into a dangerous position. He's put himself into a dangerous position.
So, Panthers roll on quickly here. 14 played first half on ABC Sport across ABC Radio throughout Australia and beyond. The Warriors, strong defence, drive back the Panthers, still 5 short of the halfway. On play 2, waiting at dummy half is Summerton. Comes open side right now by Yo. In a 3-man tackle in there first was Ford. He's now playing marker for the out middle of the park. Play 4 here, Panthers. Talangi inside ball now to Lindsay Smith. One of their 6 try scorers against the Dragons last week. And Lindsay Smith will play it 35 out centre field. Second last here for the Panthers, who trailed 2-0 at the hands of the Warriors in this elimination final in Auckland. 25 out, 12 in eastern side. Last play Panthers, Cleary's kick goes up. It'll land 10 metres out. What Mazalesniak launches, so does McLean. Loose ball comes here to Summerton to all kicks. Ricochet back from Harris to Vita. And the ref will say it'll be a Penrith ball, did he say? Yeah, Penrith play the ball here. 10 out from that southern line.
Yeah, nice little finish there to the centre again. Nice, no little Clark Ryan Toll does well, but Chanel Harris Taveta just cleaning it up there. If he wasn't in position there, Toll would have regathered that ball and scored.
So, Panthers ball 10 out from the Warriors line. Here they go. Leota crashing and bashing there against Fisher Harris and also Ford. 5 out right hand side of the post. Summerton with that ball wide to his captain Yo Smith. Busy in this game so far as well. Louis claimed there by Fisher Harris. 8 away from that southern goal line now. Summerton back. Leota almost there. Nickel Klukstad desperate in defence along with Fisher Harris. Play 3. Penrith. It's going to be a set restart here for the visitors as they come left hand, right hand side now. Martin. He's wrapped up in a 3-man tackle. He's 5 metres out now from the Warriors line. Liam Martin. Play it to Summerton. Open side left Yo. And now Cleary on to Sorensen. Lost the footy. The play rolls on here as what Mazalesniak retrieves into the in-goal area, but will come back here for the Penrith error. 16 gone first half. It remains at Mount Smart Stadium. Warriors 2, Panthers 0.
Yeah, there's a nice line here by Scotty Sorensen. He just couldn't pull it in. There's a nice ball there from Nathan Cleary as well. Hit him right on the chest. But just the defence from the Warriors just chopped him down nicely. And he just couldn't handle that pass. But they look a little bit shell-shocked, I feel like, the Panthers at the moment. They're not playing their normal game. The Warriors are definitely up in their face. And I feel the aggression from the Warriors' defence is really, really good. They're just going to hold this to another 16 minutes.
Possession still 55% for the Warriors MC this first half so far.
We say 25 minutes.
Yeah. Here goes Tuivasa-Sheck. Right now, Capewell bursts away. Angles his run toward the western touchline. Dragged towards there by 4 Penrith defenders who played a metre inside that western side. And now Pompey. That edge of the ground. 30 out from his own line. Play 3 here for the Lars. And now it will be a penalty going the Warriors' way again. So good discipline there from the Panthers in defence, making it a 3-1 penalty count so far. Scoreline 2-0 Warriors. 17 played first half. Luke Lewis making 4-1.
Yeah, they're getting absolutely hammered at the moment, the Panthers. So, like I said before, the discipline's just... I don't normally see this from the Panthers, but I'm putting this down to the way the Warriors are carrying the ball. Because they're running hard and they're using their footwork in the contact and they keep trying to fight off the ground. That's why they keep getting penalties. So it's a good tactic by the Warriors at the moment.
Jackson Ford stands in the tackle on halfway. Not on that halfway dot. It's like there for the Eagles. Play 2 Warriors, 2-0 their lead. Clark fed wide there to James Fisher Harris. And he meets his demise in the tackle of Martin. 40 out, 20 in western side. There's Aaron Clark again. Great year for the Warriors. Turned 28 this time last week. Back after 5 years at the Gold Coast Titans. Play 4, Boyd involved. Through hands to Klukestar. He's set up on there by Casey McLean. 35 out, 20 in from that far side. Second last play, Warriors. Egan, no look pass wide there again. Through Halasima. Shrugs away Sorensen with ease, but he's cut down by Summerton and also in there Leota. Last play, Warriors 25 out. Right hand side of the field. Kick from Harris to Vita. Skids down towards that other northwestern corner. Alamotti there for the Panthers gets possession. They'll start a new set from there. 5 out from that northern line. 2-0 the Warriors as the Panthers go back on the attack, Louis.
Yeah, just an update on Brad Schneider. Spriggy's passed his HIA, so he's about to return to the field.
Okay, that is good. That was in the opening minutes, that Brad Schneider HIA. As Alamotti again forced back by Fisher Harris. This is already play 3 here for the Penrith Panthers. Brian Toll in the white headgear, bright pink jersey, along with his teammates. Dylan Edwards conversed away. Shrugs away Boyd. Takes on Capewell here and Fisher Harris, and Edwards is claimed. 30 out from his own line. Last play Penrith who trailed 2-0 at the hands of the Warriors. Cleary just tumbles that kick downfield. It will bounce away from Tuivasa-Sheck. Put out the boot, but it Didn't make contact with the footy. Goes to field it now. 15 out from his own line. And they'll begin their next set of the Warriors. 2-0 the lead, Louis. 19 gone. 21 left in the first half.
Yeah, I'm really loving the aggression from the Warriors' defence at the moment. The Panthers are struggling to get out of their own end. It was just one good carry there from Brian Tall, who gets down and gets slow, gets up quick, play the ball. That gives an opportunity for Nathan Cleary to get a kick in, but really good work in defence.
What knows Lesniak, tackle 25 out, plays it quickly here. Egan finds Nickel Klukstar on play 4 here for the Warriors, who have a 2-0 lead thanks to an early penalty. Now it's second last play, early kick from Harris to Vita from behind the 40. On the full there, it's taken by Edwards, and the Panthers fullback skips across the defensive line. Run down by Clark, good chase. So too in there was Ford. Panthers go again on the attack, 38 from their own line. Brian To'o on this second play. Play it now, 35 out. Cleary goes from dummy half. Tries to make the break there on Clark. Stops 2 meters shy of the halfway. Edwards fields that ball at dummy half and now gains half a dozen more. Tackled by Fisher Harris. Played now for Schneider, who's back out there at dummy half. Now Lindsay Smith gains 10 more. He 35 out, southern end. 20 gone, halfway point of this first half. Cleary's kick goes up in the air. Launch at the 10-metre line. Juabasa Sheck brings it down. It strips away by Lamotti. Yes. So, the Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, it hits Rogers' leg, but Rogers standing behind him. So it's a strict one-on-one. How's that a knock-on?
Yeah, but I think it's when the ball comes out and it touches a Warriors player, it still classes a knock-on there.
But he's behind him.
Yeah, but but he pulls it out and doesn't control it and then touches a Warriors player, so they're classed as a knock-on.
Jody and Mackay, thank you for your text. Second time 4 jumps for the bomb. Great chases down in Brisbane. That was early on in the game. And here go the Warriors. Scrum 10 out from their own line. 21 gone. 19 left in the first 40 at Mount Smart Stadium. In wet conditions, Egan links up there with Aaron Clark. On the run for him. 30 out, 20 in from that eastern side. Egan comes open side left now. James Fisher Harris would love to win here against his old mob and condemn the Panthers to no grand finals this year. And now he goes by Malnga. Over halfway here with the Warriors on play 4. Play to Egan. On to Nickel Klukstar. Down low was Leon. Up top was Liam Martin. Also was Smith. Last play, Warriors. Kick from Harris to Vita. Angles high and long down towards that 10-metre line. Alamotti gets away here for the Panthers. No, he doesn't. I don't against him. Wraps him up and makes sure of it here. Alamotti will play it. 15 out from that northern line. Warriors 2. Panthers nil the scoreline. 22 gone in this first half. 18 minutes left before half-time. Elimination final at Smart Stadium. Brian To'o. He gains about 9 more metres here for the Panthers, 30 out. Play down to McLean. Goes himself from dummy half. And he's up over the 40-metre line. Will play it now 9 short of halfway on this second last play here for the Panthers. Let's come back here again as they try to get something going over halfway. This time for the Panthers and Isaiah Papali'i. Last play kick from Cleary. Down it goes towards Nickel Klukstar lets it bounce. Does it back behind him. Pressure comes from Martin. Nickel Klukstar gets there though. Retrieves on that second opportunity. Brings it back here. And Liam Martin's offside as a result. So 17 minutes left in this first half. Warriors 2, Panthers 0.
Another penalty against the Panthers. It's 5 now. No tries. It's going a totally different way to what I expected this game. It's, I feel like the Warriors are absolutely dominating at the moment. They're right on top. They're owning the field position. They're doing a good job in defence. They've been disciplined with the ball. They've been disciplined without the ball and not giving away too many penalties. And the Panthers, I don't know, they're a little bit off at the moment.
Slow, sort of slow, but it's a grinding sort of final in wet conditions there at Mount Smart Stadium. So
23 minutes, no tries.
Yeah, slow in scoring at least. Here's Catewell, spins into the tackle of Isaiah Yeo and also Papali'i. Play it now, 5 short of halfway. By Malnga to Tanner Boyd, leaves it behind there for Aaron Clark. 2 former Gold Coast Titans combined there. And they're inside Penrith territory here on play 4. Egan off to Jackson Ford, claimed down low by Papali'i, up top by Smith. 16 left first half. Warriors 2, Panthers 0 the scoreline. Vamonga charging on a centre field run, and he stopped 30 out centre field. Egan from dummy half to Harris to Vita. Off a step, his kick. Then again, Tulasashek's chasing it, but Alamotti gets there first for the Panthers, and he'll play it 12 out to his own line off the Carianis.
Yeah, I'm with Louis. The tempo of this game, the Warriors are the one with the extra gear at the moment, and the Panthers are just struggling to go with them. Even now, from their kick chase, they're getting 2 or 3 in a tackle and really suffocating the Panthers, who are struggling to come out of their own end.
Edwards, as I mentioned, 9 errors for him in 3 games, so a spotlight on the Panthers fullback. Play at 25 out, Papali'i tries to steamroll by Munga, and he's claimed there by he and Niokore, and it's been penalty Panthers.
Isn't that funny? He ball plants the ball there, but because he controls it, he gets knocked back and he gets knocked over. They get the penalty. If he had dropped the ball there, it would have just been a changeover to the Warriors. So good work there from Papali'i.
So penalty count in the game so far is now up to 5-2 the way of the Warriors, and Jackson Ford as the player would report earlier as well. Liam Martin here for the Panthers. It was claimed by Jackson Ford and James Fisher-Harris. Play it there for Schneider. 40 out from the Warriors line. Papali'i gets involved, but no real gain for him. On play 2. Schneider across now again. Talangi and Lindsay Smith escapes the clutches of Egan, and now he'll play at 32 out centre field. Schneider across here again to his captain Yo, co-captain Cleary. He kicks early, look out for the corner, chasing it Nickel Klukes fast, slide deep into that southwestern corner of Mount Smart Stadium, and also the new set meter out from their own line here. The Warriors 2-0 is their lead. Louis, 15 left first half.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to bring the ball out from, right in that corner, inside the 10-metre zone. It means the Panthers can tighten up and really try and bash this Warriors side at the moment, but they're doing a good job getting out of there. Going to come up a big kick here, Tanner Boy.
And they find yardage in this set here. What knows Lesniak will play it 20 out from that southern line. And now again, here is Halasima starting in the centres, or at least he was named there for the Warriors. Play it 30 out. Egan swings it across here. Last play kick, Harris to Vita. Travels deep over halfway, down towards the other 20-metre line there. 25 out from his own goal. Motti swings it across here for Edwards, and now To'o takes on Delvin Lesniak. Flips the tackle with Egan, also Niokore. To'o still going towards halfway. Wrapped up by DWZ, who'll play it in from the eastern side. Panthers here on play 2. Inside Warriors territory, they trail 2-0. McLean gains about 12 more. 38 out from that Warriors line, southern end. Edwards through hands, Yo. Right-hand side shift, Cleary, fed wide here, Alamotti. Steps in field there on Pompey and also Harris to Vita. And he'll be playing it now, 28 out, 5 in from the western side of Mount Smart Stadium. Cleary across to Edwards. Centre field run now comes from Papali'i. Takes a couple of defenders with him. Play 4 Panthers. 20 out centre field. Cleary on the end of it now. Shapes the kick. Offload instead. Back to Talangi. They're 12 away now. And now McLean takes on in there by Munga and also Boyd. 10 out, left-hand side of the post. Last play Penrith. Schneider to Cleary. On here to Papali'i. Strolls through the gap. Received a beautiful ball from Cleary and scores under the posts. Isaiah Papali'i with the first try of the game for Penrith. And it's 4-2 Panthers, kick to come. 13 left. First half on ABC Sport. This elimination final for Carianis.
What a ball there from Nathan Cleary. Stepped up when the moment mattered. Isaiah Papali'i times that nice run, but it was all the ball from Nathan Cleary. Lovely cut-out pass. And the Warriors' edge defenders just caught lacking a little bit, in the middle of the field. It was Kurt Capewell just fit in on one of the lead runners, but you won't get to see a better ball than that for the rest of the day. Beautiful pass there from Nathan Cleary.
Well, this is the first time we've seen that the Panthers, from the kick return, make some good meters. And we started with Brian To'o, really strong carry. They get upfield nicely. They were looking sharp all over the park. And you're right, Nathan Cleary getting the ball at speed. He gives it a little bit of a shape when he holds the ball, as if he's going to put a kick in. And then he just gives a nice little cut-out pass to Papali'i, and he scores that simple try. Nice strong carry into the hole there as well, and just dives over as easy as you like. So they're right in front. 4-2, kick to come.
Yeah, it will be 6-2 here very soon. Nathan Cleary lines up that kick, as you mentioned, Louis. Around the grounds quickly, AFLW, Giants, Bulldogs are 0 all in the first quarter of that game. New South Wales Women's Rugby League, Knights 22, St George 10, second half there. I mentioned that Queensland Cup final scoreline, Redcliffe 22, beat Townsville Blackhawks 16. Here they go. The Panthers for a 6-2 lead. And Nathan Cleary obliges there just as he set up that try for Isaac. I believe he adds the 2 extra points as well, 12 minutes before half time. And repeating as well, that rugby score earlier finished up. It was 28-26 Argentina over the Wallabies at the Sydney Football Stadium. 0467920222. Brian from Umina says the Panthers have been hijacked by the rain. They will adjust. The Warriors win keeps the Dogs alive. Good game, good call. Thank you. Pete from Pottsville says Panthers under the pump. Well, they were. They do score the first try of the game here. Davo, thank you for your text. Thank you to those that have sent texts in early in the game. I've missed them. Sorry about that. 0467920222 as the Panthers bring the ball back from the kickoff. Papali'i, the try scorer, will play it 20 out from his own line at northern end. Now the run from Liam Martin. As mentioned, he was last year's Clive Churchill medalist. Play it there for Schneider. We didn't see any minutes in last year's grand final. That's the Dolphins next year. Play it there for Edwards. There was going to be 6 more as there's a player line in the ruck, but because that failed to clear, it will be penalty Penrith.
Was it a double play, the ball then? Schneider gets up and plays the ball, or goes through one leg and then goes through Dylan Edwards' leg, I think.
It was... It sort of went through Edwards.
At a tunnel ball.
Anyway, penalty Penrith. They tap quickly on the western side. Tungo was dragged down here. 35 out from that southern line. Schneider across now to Liam Martin. And he stands in the tackle of Ford and Egan. And we'll play it here for the Panthers. 35 out from that southern line. The Panthers are attacking, Warriors defending. Tackle 3, Papali'i. Play it there for Schneider. Open side left here, Yo. Kick now from Cleary. Chasing the grubber. It's fielded by Nickel Klukstad. Dragged back on that sliding, slippery surface into the in-goal area by Casey McLean. And it's a line drop-out Warriors. They trail the Panthers 6-2. 10 left first half.
Yeah, good work there by Nathan Cleary. Great little kick. And got his left edge on ball with what he was doing as well. Shans does an awesome job to come around and grab that ball while he was sliding across the ground. But really good awareness also from Casey McLean just to wait, put him in the right position and keep driving him in goal.
So short drop out, a little too short.
He tried to do a Nathan Cleary but couldn't get it right.
Can avoid, so it doesn't go the required 10 metres, and it will be a Panthers ball attacking that Warriors line, southern and the Michael Carrier.
Wait, now I do the contestable because he's kicking it intense for both of them to get it.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is what I don't understand.
Yeah, so Penrith were just wondering if it was a penalty or not, but Grant Atkins said no because they believed it was a contestable ball, even though it just rubbed 2 metres short of the 10 metre line.
Either way, Panthers ball here, so that believe you'll play it 8 away from that line. Schneider dummy half here, Yo. Back on the inside of Lindsay Smith, and he's cut down there by Bamunga, and also in there Jackson Ford. Played now for Schneider. Oh, it's left behind by Cleary. Backwards though there for Tungo, so it's still play 3 here for the Panthers. And there, Senna Tungo is playing it now. 12 out, right-hand side of the sticks. Schneider, flat ball there for Isaiah Yo. He bursts across the defensive line, shares it with Tungo. That Tungo left it behind now, Alamotti. He'll take on Capewell, burns him, takes on Harris to Vita. And now Ford, though, cuts him down. 11 out from the Warriors line. Panthers, Papali'i to Smith. And quite in the past, wide round options. This will be last play Penrith. Metre shy of that southern goal line at Mount Smart Stadium. Low ball, trying to find Cleary. Sorensen, now kick from Talangi. Nickel Klukstad grounds, and again, that was his best option. So a line drop out again. Let's see if Tanner Boyd can try it again here for the Warriors. And the Panthers keep a 6-2 lead at Mount Smart Stadium.
Feels like the Warriors have got players everywhere at the moment, the way that they're defending up, which is really, really good to see. But they're scrambling so hard from the inside. I reckon it's starting to frustrate the Panthers.
I think the short drop out just goes the required 10 metres here. Batted away by Schneider. Loose ball, Edwards is clamouring for it. Ford, though, gets there for the Warriors. What say you, Ref Grant Atkins? He'll say it was knocked on firstly by the Warriors. So that's why the post crowd's building.
I think Tomato Martin knocks the ball on. when he's chasing the ball down. He actually beats Dylan Edwards to the ball tonight. I don't think he just knocks the ball off.
There you go. So more Penrith ball here. The scrum feed, 25 out from that southern line.
Probably a better way to get the ball here. Scrum, set the defensive line. They normally do pretty good here. They're hard to hold out here, the Panthers. They do nice little scrum play, so see what they come up with.
7.5 left of the break. Panthers 6 lead the Warriors 2. Left-hand side of the scrum they come. Second playing it down there is Sorensen. Schneider across here again. It comes to Papali'i. He's only tried the game so far. Isaiah Papali'i. Play it 12 out, right-hand side of the post. Schneider across here to Cleary, and now Yo steps on the inside there of Vimonga, and he's claimed by Nickel Klugstar and also Timothy Martin. Play it centre field here, 10 out. Schneider across on play 4, links up with Cleary. He goes to find Sorensen, still has it here in the tackle of Aaron Clark, and he'll put that near Corey. He'll play it 8 away from the left-hand side of the post. Yo on their second last. Cleary tackled, ball comes loose, kept alive by Edwards, but all the way back here for Alamotti, who's 30 out from that Warriors line. So some ground to make up here for the Panthers with a 6-2 lead, although Tungol runs back through centre field, followed there by Timothy Martin. He'll play it now on the last 18 out from the Warriors line. Schneider at dummy half for the Panthers. Flat kick from Cleary, skids into the goal area. Nickel Klugstar had the pressure of Sorensen bearing down on him, and it's run dead again for a line dropout.
Well, the only thing the Panthers have got going for them at the moment is their last play options, because their attack is totally disjointed, and it comes to the line speed that the Warriors are creating. They're getting off their line very, very quickly and putting the Panthers under pressure.
Michael Carianis alongside Luke Lewis. I'm Brett Sprigg for the first elimination finals here on ABC Sport. For Sharks Roosters to come later on tonight. We'll be in Canberra all day tomorrow for the Canberra and Brisbane qualifying final, as well as the NRLW last game at Newcastle. Here's Isaiah Papali'i. Brings it back from the line dropout. 5.5 left of the break at Mount Smart Stadium. Lindsay Smith straightens his run here, gains a quick 12-13. Penrith still lead here 6-2 as we approach the halftime break. Liam Martin, good pace, takes on Egan, and also in there Timothy Martin. 30 outs on the field. Go receives it, shares it with Cleary. On to Sorensen, comes back there on the outside of Vimonga, but the gap does close quickly on the back rower. Play it there for Schneider. Second last play, Penrith. Smith to Yo, and now Papali'i stands the tackle of Timothy Martin. Will play it now 5 out for the Warriors line. They lead 6-2. Ref Atkins will call them back. Play it here, Penrith. They come right-hand side of the paddock. Cleary onto Martin. They run the footy, and he's run down in turn by Kurt Capewell.
Oh, they look lost. Penrith in attack. There's not much doing out there at the moment. And obviously the wet weather conditions are really hurting them. They're changing direction. They're not offering a whole lot. They can't play second phase play. So the next best option is their short kicking game. And the Warriors are eating that up at the moment.
So the Warriors go on the attack here. That's the Mount Smart Stadium. Explosion here from the dummy half with Halasima. He'll play it. The crowd just lifts every time we get to the ball, Halasima. Nickel Klugstar, the fullback. 3 Panthers pile on him. He rolls it back, 35 out from his own line. Timothy Martin gains half a dozen here for the last. Play to Egan. On the last play, here comes from Harris Savita. That left boot hangs there a fair while on the chest of Dylan Edwards. The Panthers back on the attack via their fullback, 30 out centre field. It's they who lead the Panthers, 6 points to 2, 3.5 left of the break. Alamotti on a jinking run, takes on Capewell and also Harris Savita. Down on the tackle was that man Dimitri Vimonga. Played to Schneider. Now the run here from Liam Henry. Play it now, 5 inside Warriors territory. Isaac Tungol gains a dozen more here, but he's stopped 42 out from that southern line. Second last here for the Panthers, who lead 6-2. Isaiah Yo stands the tackle of Capewell. And now the Penrith co-captain will play it there for Schneider. Past an HIA earlier in this first half. Cleary, running kick, up it goes. Lesniak launches uncontested, brings it down. 8 out from his own line. And they'll go again from there, the Warriors. 2.5 left of the break. 6-2 the Panthers lead, Luke Lewis.
Well, look, the difference between the kicking game of the high kicking game, between both sides is that when the Warriors put it up, there's every player runs down and competes for the ball. And at the moment, the Panthers are just putting it up and getting down there and waiting for him to land. I'd like to see the Panthers compete for those balls that are up in the air to get a little bit more chance of scoring some points, because at the moment their attack isn't doing anything.
25 out from that southern end. Here's a gain from Tuivasa Shek, who's now 33 out. Played to Egan. So Marty Martin links up with Nickel Klugstar, and he's cut down 8 short of the halfway line here. Last play, Warriors, who trail 6-2 in the hands of the Panthers in this knockout sudden death final. Boyd, deep right foot kick down the Moors, about 15 out from that northern line. Edwards gets there for the Panthers, brings it back, and he's met there by Ford, and also Corday will play it 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. So, minute and 45 seconds left in this first half at Mount Smart Stadium. In wet conditions, there was driving rain to start at kick-off, and now it's not raining at the moment. It's still a very slippery ground underfoot. Schneider at dummy half, keeps moving here towards that man in Liam Henry. Tackled 40 outs in the field. Second last play, Panthers in the hands of Cleary. And now Talangi off to Sorensen. Still has the ball here. This will be last play, Panthers. 30 out, 20 in, eastern touchline. Schneider open side right. Off a couple of steps, Cleary. Up it goes towards the wing. In fact, the fullback comes in, the good Klugstar. Breaks one tackle of McLean. Not so To'o. He'll play it 20 out from his own line.
Yeah, nice take and return there from Charles Nickel Klugstar to put his side on the front footing and give him an opportunity with a minute left in this first half.
There's a minute, and now they're 59 seconds. Here they go. Open side left, although Pompey doesn't release the ball here. Put on his back in the tackle of Isaiah Papali'i. Play at 35 out now. Egan across to Ford. And now Timani Martin. Rips it right here. Tanner Boyd to the break. He broke one tackle. Over halfway he goes. McLean's chasing him. Needs support, does Boyd. Takes on Edwards. And he's stopped there by McLean. 20 out. They'll go quickly here. 35 seconds left to the break here. The Warriors on the second last. The kick from Harrison feeds out to the wing. It'll skid wide of Armani. Picked up by Edwards. The fullback gets there. And he's off to the races. The cover comes across there. Harris Tamina and also Capewell stops the Penrith fullback. Edwards will play it. He's slow getting up here, Dylan Edwards, suggesting contact to his head, somewhere the back of his head. So with 13 seconds left in the half, as a trainer with him, Dylan Edwards, didn't quite see what happened. It must have been earlier in that set, but you can see the break from Tanner Boyd. It was devoid of support. Maybe Edwards got a clash in that tackling right there with McLean. Tanner Boyd sandwich. 5 seconds left. Panthers on the attack, play 2. Alan Motti breaks one tackle, and he's cut down there by Ford on the half-time hooter, where it has been a fascinating, slow scoring elimination final at Mount Smart Stadium. 6-2 is the Penrith lead. The scoring was opened via a penalty goal to Tanner Boyd. That was in the 8th minute of the game. And then from there, Isaiah Papali'i on the end of a fantastic pass from Nathan Cleary in the 27th minute, and a successful Nathan Cleary conversion, making it 6-2 Penrith scoreline here at the first half. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, look, I thought the Warriors were probably the better team for that open 40 minutes, even though the scoreline says it's in the Panthers' favour. A nice little play from Nathan Cleary to give Papali'i that pass and score that try into the post. But the Warriors are getting out of their own end a lot easier. I feel like their aggression in defence is really, really there. Their kicking game, they're competing for their the high balls. The discipline from the Panthers has been horrible. I think it was 5 penalties to 2 last time I checked. So the Panthers are definitely off, and that's a really good 40 minutes there from the Warriors, but they're still going at halftime down. So that's not good there for the Warriors, because the Panthers are normally pretty good front runners.
Yeah, sorry, MC.
Sorry, Speaker. I felt like if Tanner Boyd, when he made that break, could have found Dallin Wanese-Lesniak on his outside, I think Dallin scores. He just sort of ran away from him and cut back inside. But I'm with Louis. I thought the Warriors were probably the better side in that opening 40. The difference between the two sides was Nathan Cleary's kicking game. He was building pressure. Although they could couldn't really expand on that pressure all too often. But I thought, Nathan Cleary's king game, he threw that beautiful pass from Isaiah Papali'i. He's probably been the difference of the two sides in that opening 40 minutes.
The possession count finished up in the end 52% for the Panthers. So it was a tale of that first 20 minutes where the Warriors had plenty of the ball, and the Panthers hit back, of course, and also controlled the scoreboard as well. 6 to the scoreline. 86% completion rate there for the visitors, 80% for the Warriors. We're usually pretty good in that department. Tackle break 17-15. The player report in that first half was Jackson Ford. Penalty count finished up 5-3 the Warriors in that opening 40, and there was one further ruck infringement going the Panthers' way in that first half as well. Brad Schneider passed his HIA, as Malcolm Carianis mentioned to you, during that first half. So 6-2 is the Penrith lead here. A reminder, Penrith has won 12 finals in a row, the longest finals winning streak in New South Wales Rugby League /ARL/NRL history. So there you go. And they also have the Warriors in recent times as well, winning 19 of their past 24. 0467 920 222. Adam the Truckie says, afternoon, gents. Listening to the call whilst camping in Kangaroo Valley with the boys. Great call. Thank you, Adam and the boys. Gaz says, hi, team. Didn't the Panthers have a crappy start last game and came back okay? Sideline behind the boardroom sounds better today than at the ground weather-wise. Yeah, he's comfy here, Malcolm Carianis, and the elemental conditions of the boardroom. You called that last game. Well, you both did that Wollongong. Did they start slow in that game against the Dragons? 40. It feels like a million years ago.
I feel like they were
27.
Totally in control of that game.
No, they didn't start slow. It was good. 5 tries or something in the first, 25 minutes.
That answers your question, Gaz. No, they weren't slow starters in that last game. Thank you, Cody, for your text as well. And Brian, thanks to John from Rouse Hill. 0467 920 222. Around the grounds quickly in the NRLW. Wins today to the Broncos over the Cowboys. Broncos finishing second. Cowboys finishing third. The Titans beat the Raiders in Golden Point 17-16. Thanks to Lauren Brown. That means the Titans will have that 6th spot on the ladder. Someone asked, what are the final NRLW finals placings? The actual finals themselves will be announced at some point, but the top 6 is Roosters, Broncos, Cowboys, Knights, Sharks, Titans. So it'll be Cowboys v Titans, Knights v Sharks in that first week of the finals. The 3-week final system. Roosters, Broncos get the week off, and we did hear some information yet to be confirmed that Taryn Aiken, an ACL for the Star Roosters halfback in the NRL women's competition. Here in the elimination final, it's the Panthers 6, the Warriors 2. Right now, time for ABC News.
ABC News with David Rowlands. Police in Melbourne CBD have briefly clashed with Indigenous sovereignty protesters. Officers rushed to move demonstrators on after one was allegedly capsicum sprayed on St Kilda Road Bridge near to the Arts Centre Melbourne and National Gallery of Victoria. One protester claimed a group was trying to get back to Camp Sovereignty, but was blocked by mounted and riot police. After officers moved the crowd on, it appears tensions quickly de-escalated. Camp Sovereignty, an Indigenous gathering site in King's Domain, was attacked 2 weeks ago following an anti-immigration protest, with some of the camp being assaulted and missiles being thrown. Industry and Innovation Minister Tim Ayres is urging parents to educate their children about confronting content on social media following the assassination of right-wing American commentator Charlie Kirk. Australia's online safety watchdog has received multiple complaints about young people watching graphic footage of the shooting on social media platforms. Senator Ayres says parents are encouraged to talk to their children about what they've seen online.
This incident is a particularly disturbing incident in the United States, and it's the right thing for the Safety Commissioner to be warning parents and warning young people about the dangers of online content.
A health expert scheduled to speak about the impact of war on children at a Melbourne hospital says she believes the event was cancelled in order to avoid discussion about Gaza. The panel event was scheduled to be held at the Royal Children's Hospital next week, but the hospital has cancelled it. 2 doctors have told the ABC an external body opposing anti-Semitism pressured the hospital to cancel the discussion because child casualties in Gaza would be discussed. Medical Association for the Prevention of War President Sue Wareham says she was deeply disappointed by the move.
I felt quite devastated. What does that say about our humanity when children in one particular place, when their plight cannot be discussed from a health perspective.
Voters are casting their ballots at polls across Kiama today on the New South Wales South Coast in a state by-election triggered by the downfall of disgraced former independent MP Gareth Ward. Ward held the traditionally blue ribbon seat for more than a decade before he was convicted of sexual offences earlier this year. Labor's Caitlin McInerney is looking to turn the electorate red, while former Shoalhaven councillor Serena Copley is the Liberals' pick. The preferences of independents and minor parties may influence the marginal seat's final results. 2 Australian men have been charged for allegedly trafficking firearms to a paramilitary group based in Indonesia. Joshua McIntosh has more.
An investigation was launched after the kidnapping of New Zealand pilot Philip Mertens by the Indonesian National Liberation Army of West Papua in 2023. Mr. Mertens was held by the paramilitary organisation for almost 600 days before being released in 2024. During investigations, officers uncovered evidence allegedly linking a New South Wales man and a Queensland man to the trafficking of firearms from Australia to Indonesia. Authorities will allege the men attempted to traffic firearms and ammunition to the paramilitary group and also allegedly discussed sourcing Australian military firearms. Both men will appear before the Brisbane Magistrates Court next month.
A powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake has struck near the east coast of the Kamchatka region in Russia's Far East. The US Geological Survey says it occurred at a depth of nearly 40 kilometres. There are no immediate reports of injuries or major damage. The Kamchatka Peninsula was hit by 5 powerful quakes, the largest also magnitude 7.4, on July the 20th this year. Back home, and the gates are officially open at Floriade, Australia's biggest celebration of spring. Monty Boville is at Canberra's Commonwealth Park.
It's a beautiful sunny day in Canberra, and Commonwealth Park has been transformed into a sea of colour with more than 1 million flowers on display. All flower beds have been designed to fit in with this year's theme, science and nature. The flowers have been planted in the formation of a human brain, DNA and a petri dish. Now in its 38th year, Floriade continues to be the biggest tourism event in Canberra's calendar. Over the next 4 weeks, it's expected to draw in around 250,000 out-of-town visitors and inject more than $60 million into the local economy.
And in sport, Brisbane have thrashed North Queensland 50-4 in the NRL W. Star fullback Tamika Upton ran in a hat-trick of tries and extended her lead as the competition's top try scorer with 18 for the season. In the other game, Gold Coast have secured the 6th and last final spot at the expense of Parramatta.
September means finals for...
He's over 10, steps in field, they score!
But at ABC Sport, it also means we're counting down to the summer of cricket.
Smith sucks that through cover point away for 4.
Starting September 30, the Women's ODI World Cup.
Big 6 from Phoebe Litchfield.
Plus Australia versus India in the men's ODI and T20s. The WBBL, the Big Bash, and the biggest rivalry in the game.
The Ashes.
The Ashes.
Stark rumbles in and bowls it down. Bowling! He's bowling! First bowl!
ABC Sport and the ABC Listen app. Your home of cricket this summer.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Final Series.
Sundeath Saturday, here we go. The crowd counts down. Panthers kick off. Warriors to receive in this elimination final of 2025. The Warriors with the footy out of their right end. And here they go. Boyd feeds the scrum. Egan comes back left-hand side. There was no play waiting for him there. Loose ball dived on by Cleary. And that will be deemed Warriors Penrith. Penrith players too close, not to carry on.
Yeah, there's obviously...
This is the Bash.
Oh, here we go.
The Bash Bros
Coming in from all angles here.
Moses and James
Iona and James Fisher-Harris, former teammates. So Tanner Boyd and the Warriors will take the 2 here off the back of that early penalty. Will be in a slight angle, 20 out left-hand side of the sticks. And over it goes. Up goes the pyro. Scoreboard reads Warriors 2, Penrith 0. Play for Panthers, 20 out centre field. Cleary on the end of it now. Shapes the kick. Offload instead. Back to Talangi. They're 12 away now. And now McLean takes on in there by Nunga and also Boyd. 10 out, left-hand side of the post. Last play Penrith. Schneider to Cleary. On here to Papali'i. Scrolls through the gap. Received a beautiful ball from Cleary and scores under the posts. Isaiah Papali'i with the first try of the game for Penrith.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Final Series.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Half-time, Penrith 6, Warriors 2 in this elimination final. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis here at ABC Sport HQ in the boardroom. And the second half starting at Mount Smart Stadium very shortly. A reminder of what's still to come tonight, of course, Cronulla Sutherland hosting the Roosters at Shark Park in the other elimination final. We'll head there at 7 o'clock Eastern time tonight after the news with Glenn Lauder, Dean Hallertau and Matthew Elliott. Before that, though, we'll have an extended post-game wrap-up of this game, and you can, of course, keep the conversation going via text 0467 920 222 throughout the evening. And in fact, in the hour following the game here, we'll do a little look back on a grand final from yesteryear, and this year being 2025, we're going back on the anniversaries and doing the fives. So 1975, 85, 95, 2005, etc. We did do plenty of stuff on the Tigers earlier this year, but today or tonight we'll reflect on 2015. 10 years ago, Lachlan Coote, the Cowboys fullback that year, and old teammate of yours, Louis, at the Panthers, will join me for a look back on that remarkable game 2015. So that's all still to come before we head across to the Shark Park later on tonight. So there you go, 0467 920 222. Carmen's in Wollongong. Hello, gentlemen. I'm enjoying listening to your call while sewing my quilt this afternoon. You're all doing a great job. Andrew and myself will be very proud. Thank you, Carmen, for that. Keep the great call going. Listening from a wet Sapporo, Japan. Just like Auckland. Go the Warriors. Cheers, Paul. Hi team, this is Alex listening in from a sunny morning in Nice, France. I'm racing in the Ironman World Champs tomorrow and getting my NRL footy fix. Keep up the great work, team. Thank you, Alex, and well done to you, and all the best for that tomorrow. I think our man Billy Moore is actually in the Berlin Marathon next week. Yeah, I don't know if he or his wife's running in it, but
no, he's definitely
he's doing it.
Yeah, doing it. Yeah, last time.
They tour all around the world, do these marathons, Billy. So anyway, all the best to you, Alex, for that tomorrow. How'd you go on the Ironman World Champs, MC? Do you reckon?
I'm covering it.
No, like in it.
Are you joking?
What about Louis? You be two.
No chance. No chance. I'm not a runner.
No, I can
He's the Gorskis. We need to go good.
George from Wollongong, just driving to Sydney, listening to the call to hold my Eastern Suburbs tragic hand in the later game. Yeah, big game for Roosters and Sharks fans later on tonight. I mentioned that on the truckie. Thank you for your text, 0467 920 222. Can you describe how that was a non-penalty on Alamotti by DWZ? That wasn't even the first one was the really confusing one, wasn't it?
Well, I'm assuming that's the one.
Oh, sorry, no, that was the one. Yes, it was.
It was Casey McLean.
Yes, it
wasn't Alamotti.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it should have definitely been. Well, at first thought, I thought maybe potential. Well, Lou and I think we both thought potential penalty try, but at the very least a penalty in the sin bin. But it wasn't even a penalty, which was a bit mind blowing.
No, he missed the whole. Like he was looking at everything else, but he missed the whole part of his Darren Zalesniak's hand on his shoulder before he even got an opportunity to catch the ball. And I don't think you might get a little bit of a stand down next week, or Liam Kennedy.
Before we get to Canberra tomorrow, we've got our man Sammy Williams in the Queanbeyan Roos versus Queanbeyan Blues local Canberra Grand Final. The second half there, and Sammy's Roos now lead 24-18. So that's going to be late in the second half because Dennis is getting across it all. So we'll see if we can see Sammy tomorrow at the game. Of course, we'll be there. Myself, Gibbsy and Louis from midday. We'll also call the NRL W game in Newcastle. Zane Bojack on the call there for the Knights and the Dragons. All part of the fun tomorrow as we close out the opening weekend of the 2025 NRL Finals. 6-2 the scoreline here. The Panthers lead. What happens from here, Louis? What do you reckon?
Well, I still can't back against Penrith, but they're not playing very well. I feel like the Warriors were the better team in the first 40, but they are behind. And if the Panthers just get back into their basics and just kick into corners, I'll get a little bit of joy, but they're not doing that either. So I'm going to stick with Penrith to win just.
Penrith kick off. Penrith take the kick off here, and they run the footy back here with Isaiah Papali'i. 15 out, 20 in from the western side to start this second half for this elimination sudden death knockout final on this Saturday afternoon here in Australia and Saturday night across the ditch in New Zealand. Schneider feeds it across here to Liam Henry, dragged down from behind there by Dimitri Von Malga, and he'll play it now for his dummy half in Schneider, of course, big shoes to fill tonight in the absence of Mitch Kenny, who's out with a hamstring injury. And now Isaiah Yeo with no real gain here on play 4. Play it now for Schneider across to Edwards. He shows some zip into that wall of the Kore and also Baumonga. Last play Panthers, 6 short of the halfway. Schneider across to Cleary. High and long downfield onto the chest of Charles Nickel Klugstar. Skips across that defensive line before Henry gets him 30 out centre field here. So the Warriors get their first set of this second half on the way. And there were no markers there for Harris Tavita to take advantage of. So he's tackled now 8 short of the halfway and maybe busted open here as well. Penalty going the way of the Warriors for a high shot. And I think it was Liam Henry in there first who made the contact on him. Then at 30-second play of this second half, it remains our halftime score of Penrith 6, the Warriors 2, and Liam Henry now on report as well, Dr. Carianis.
Yeah, you said at the moment as well, so they might take another look at this. It's Isaiah Papali'i, I
say, Henry sort of reaches from behind, then Papali'i gets in front on with his shoulder.
This could be a bit of drama for Isaiah Papali'i.
Okay.
No.
Nothing doing here beyond just the report at the stage, Louis.
Yeah, no, he gets it all wrong there, but I have seen people get sent in the pen for that.
Yeah.
It's direct contact to the head, but not to be. But very first set for the Panthers, they give away a penalty again. 6-3 penalties. I don't understand how they're in front at the moment.
2 minutes played second half. Panthers do lead here 6-2 as Catewell is tackling Jackson Porter, beg your pardon, centre field 35 out, played to Egan, across to Chanel, Harris to Vita, inside ball to Ivasa Shek, shimmies away there from Papali'i, shares it back to Harris to Vita, he dummies and dragged down from behind by Cleary and also Henry, 25 out, 12 in eastern side. Warriors deep in attack here on play 4. Boyd, inside ball to Ford, takes Yeo and Schneider with him. Papali'i comes in as well. Ford will play it there for the Warriors. Egan dummy half. Open side right he goes. Tanner Boyd on here to near Kore. Breaks through, not quite. McLean stops him. 10 away, right hand side of the sticks. Last play Warriors. Boyd almost fumbles the footy. And now Marty Martin does off that untidy pass. So it will be a Penrith ball, 10 out from that southern line. 3 going second half. Panthers 6, Warriors 2, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, they're looking sharp, the Warriors. I'm starting to feel a little bit worried for the Panthers at the moment. I feel like they're starting to get on top. The way that the Warriors are playing, they look a lot sharper in attack. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck starting to come into his own. And then the forwards from the Warriors still absolutely dominating the Panthers forward back at the moment.
And getting up to play it here is McLean, who's got some contact to his head. Didn't quite see what happened as he was getting up rather gingerly. Not really assessed on field for now. Schneider was waiting at dummy half as the ball came to him. Referee Atkins is just throwing time off, and they go again here. Play 3 Penrith. This angle run from Alamotti. He's stopped by Tatewell, 25 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Schneider feeds it across here again, this time to Isaac Tungo, and he's crawling away past Ford. Platt 32 out from his own line. Early kick from Cleary behind the 40. Travels high and long cross field. Bounce there for what Mazel Lesniak. Just gets 20-metre line there. Sits on its point for the Warriors winger, who is then claimed by Tulani and Sorensen. Warriors on the attack. 25 out from that northern line of Mount Smart Stadium. It's the Panthers 6, the Waz 2. 4 minutes played, second half on ABC Sport. Boyd here finds Tuivasa-Sheck. And he runs headlong into Schneider and Yeo and Martin in there as well. He'll play it now, centre field 40 out. Egan goes from dummy half with a quick 9-metre run here. He'll play it metre short of the halfway. Here for the Warriors in the second last play. Nickel Klugstar takes on Yeo, no dice. 43 out centre field. Last play here for the Warriors. It comes to Tanner Boyd, who has their only points in the game so far via a penalty goal. High ball down the upper field. Edwards. And coming in hot was by Mona. It will be a penalty on the way of the Panthers. So the Warriors, coming a little too hot there. And that will be a penalty going the way of the Panthers here. So the penalty count now, Louis, is up to 6-4 the Warriors' way.
Yeah, well, they just get a little bit too eager here, the Warriors. They just leave a tad too early, and they sprint through for the put the pressure on Dylan Edwards there. They kick upfield nicely, but still, the Panthers are struggling to make metres. It's just the defence of the Warriors have been great. So I'd like to see what the Panthers come up with in some attack here.
So it's on the logo western side. Tackle playing it here. It comes off to Isaiah Papali'i. Only try scorer in the game so far, Isaiah Papali'i. Play at 32 out from the Warriors line. Yo, inside now to Henry. And he gains a quick 10 more metres here as he's wrapped up by Timothy Mark. Now at dummy half, Schneider waits for it. Presents his pass to the right-hand side, clearing inside ball to Liam Martin. And it will be a set restart here for the visitors. Hands of the full set, 12 out to the Warriors line. Cleary, left-hand side he goes. Papali'i shoves it back to Sorensen. Now McLean, he looks to pass, but Toll's not quite there. Deep in that northwestern corner of Mount Smart Stadium, dummy half Sorensen. Open side right on play 3. It missed Papali'i, picked up by Schneider, and now Yo will charge into Egan and Capewell and Timothy Martin. 13 outside the field here for the Panthers on play 4. Henry tries to jink his way past Jackson, Ford and Kirk Capewell will play it now. 4 out, right-hand side of the post. Second last play, Penrith. Schneider goes himself from dummy half, and he might just get there. Ford tackled him as a grounding from Brad Schneider. And he scores a finals try. 10-2, kick to come Panthers. There was enough momentum there, MCs. He just got that ball down.
Yeah, Charles Nicholl pushed that, force for the dummy. Brad Schneider shaped to that left-hand side and throws that dummy. Kirk Capewell falls off a tackle, and I feel like it is momentum. There's a heavy bounce there, but I don't think he promotes the arm enough to suggest that it's a double movement.
He looks up at the screen, Louis, almost somewhat guilty to check whether this looks clear. The crowd don't seem convinced. He stops.
He promotes.
He stops.
His momentum does stop.
Yeah, no. If he stops and then moves forward, that's
Try confirms.
Oh, there we go.
Well,
I don't know, it was a weird one for mine because I feel like it's a weird one because momentum does come to
we're talking about a semi-final, elimination final, and the ball hits the ground in the field of play. You cannot promote the ball. That is a double movement every day of the week that we've seen every year. That is a double movement. I feel sorry for the Warriors there because that should not be a try.
Yeah, well,
that is outrageous. That absolutely makes me outrageous at the moment.
The Warriors, the Mount Smart's faith are certainly also outraged, Louis. Here's Nathan Cleary directly in front to make it 12-2 Penrith. And at what point do you say 8 minutes played second half is the game going to be on them in these conditions? So 12-2, still plenty of time left, but the Warriors now trail by a couple of tries. Brad Schneider is the try scorer in somewhat controversial circumstances.
I can't believe they give that.
So Cleary 2 from 2 off the SMS. Joe in the Blue Mountain says, will this final result be governed by a bunker howler? Referring to the earlier one in the first half. There's been a few now that have been...
I'm not as hard on that one as Louis is, as this one just now.
Hey, the ball was in the field of play.
I know what you're saying.
He promotes the ball. He doesn't bounce. He promotes it.
No, I don't feel like his arm extends.
He doesn't have to extend. He moves the ball forward.
The kick-off has been lost backwards here by Tangi in the in-goal. Picked up now by the Panthers, and Papali'i gets away. 11 out from his own line at Southern End. And with 12, the Warriors 2 here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg and incensed Luke Lewis and Michael Karianis. This elimination final continues here, 12-2. Toll play at 20 out. Schneider across here to Henry. 4 Warriors going to stop him. 30 outs on the field here for the Panthers. On to Isaiah Yo. And he makes a strong run here on play 4, taking Capewell and also Waimanga with him. Play at 7 short of the halfway. Schneider across here to Cleary. Off here to Liam Martin. And he's brought down. 12 in from the eastern side on the halfway line. Last play Panthers. Cleary stabs that kick with the defensive line. What knows Lesniak puts out the leg here. Has to chase it back and knock on the in-goal area. Oh my goodness. So I thought as well, my water's gone everywhere. Dylan Lesniak with an error in the in-goal area. And that will give... Thanks, Ralph. Tea-towel. That is just absurd. Oh, goodness me. Dylan Watney's a Lesniak.
That was a debacle, Paul.
Yeah.
For Dallin. Nice kick there from Nathan Cleary, but that's a shocker.
Anyway, a short drop out here from the Warriors, retrieved here by Kurt Capewell, 20 in. So at least withstand that. Dummy half Harris Tabita across into Abasa Shek. Stretchy run there into Isaiah Papali'i, 30 out from his own. Play 3 here for the Warriors. Amazing. 12-2 Penrith lead here on ABC Sport. This elimination final off the deck here. Egan. Dummies the pass left. Links up with Timothy Martin over halfway. Spun here back to Harris Tabita. Now Tanner Boyd needs options. He can share it back here and claim 35 out, 20 in from the western side is Tanner Stowers-Smith. They go on quickly here on the second last. There's no real extra yardage there for Jackson Ford. 30 out centre field. Tanner Boyd, up goes the kick. High down towards that 10-metre line. Allowed to bounce by Edwards into the path of Brian To'o. Panthers back on the attack. He struggles away the tackle of Harris Tavita and dragged down now by Nickel Klugstar. 30 out, 20 in western side. 10 gone second half on ABC Sport. Panthers 12, Warriors 2, Louis.
I'm just trying to think. I've never seen Dylan Edwards like this. He's just very scared to go in and catch a ball. That ball had to be caught there. They got lucky and obviously didn't go the favour of the Warriors. But now I'm looking at Tedesco. He catches that ball. He puts his body on the line. He catches it. So I don't know if he's playing injured or not, Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, he's had a troubled sort of last month or so, hasn't he? The Penrith fullback. Henry over halfway here on the second last now for the Panthers. 12-2 their lead. At dummy half, Summerton goes to the right-hand side. Cleary's kicking in a probing ball, just bounced down towards that dead ball line. This time goes over off Penrith. There was no repeat of that Dylan Watney's Lesniak effort from earlier. They've got a 2 of Arthur Shek. So 7 tackles set here from the 20 for the Warriors, who trailed 12-2. MC, 11 gone second half.
Yeah, rare kicking error from Nathan Cleary. His kicking game has been outstanding this afternoon, but just gets that one wrong. And again, it's like the first half where I feel like the Warriors are playing with better intent than the Penrith Panthers. Just their execution has let them down.
A couple have pointed out in the SMS, but is Liam Kennedy Maury's favourite ref? He's a big ref on Liam Kennedy. Unfortunately, not having his best game today in the bunker, Liam Kennedy. Played here, 40 out by Halasima. Egan bursts away here. Boyd, laid down by Summerton, 25 out here. Second last play, Warriors, 25 out from the Panthers line. Here's Dennis Stowers-Smith. He runs straight to Martin. 11 out, left-hand side of the post. Last play, Warriors, their best look at this second half so far. On the last, Boyd, back here again to Nickel Klugstar. Halasima with ease. Easy held up. He might just get the footy down. Second effort, Halasima does ground the ball, and the Warriors hit back. 12-6, kick to come, Lars.
Great try there from the Warriors. Good work, good patience. They finally get the ball where they need to get it. I'll tell you what, doing it was a great job here on Halasima. I actually thought he held him up right at the end. But it's that second effort, he definitely gets the ball down. But then the work there from Shans, Nickel Klugstar, just to hold the ball up, a little bit of a dummy and pump, and he goes through Halasima. And you see him when he breaks into that space, you go, who in the hell is going to tackle him? He's a big, hard-running human being. I've seen a lot of people just miss him one-on-one, and he scores a nice try and gets the Warriors back on the board and back in this game.
Carianis.
Yeah, there's that double pump there from Charles Nickel Klugstar, just allowed Casey McLean to jam in and create the overlap and create the space for Halasima. As Louis said, Dylan Edwards did remarkably well to stop Halasima from scoring in that first instance, but too strong. Eventually he got the ball down, and some reward there for the Warriors for their application in this second half.
Just quickly, heartbreak for Sonny Williams and the Queanbeyan Roos. They were beaten 28-26, a try with 30 seconds to go, scored by the Queanbeyan rivals, the Blues. So our man Sam Williams and his Queanbeyan Roos have lost the Canberra grand final. Anyway, 12-6 here. Tanner Boyd, he's 20 out and 8 metres in from the western side of Mount Smart Stadium. 1 from 1 so far tonight with that penalty, the first points of the game. Making a 4-point buffer Penrith's way. Boyd just sticks it through. Panthers 12, Warriors 8 here on ABC Sports. Still with We've now got 27 minutes left in this game of this elimination final. Of course, later on, Sharks v Roosters at Shark Park. 0467920042. Filthy Bill says, Louis, I'm with you, mate. I'm outraged. In the words of Toos, there's going to be an investigation into this. Appreciate Louis' indignation here, says Sam in Newcastle. Situations like this through in the game. Lynn says, rubbish, double movement, momentum taking over. Thank you, Lynn, for your text service. I'm going to spin on this, although, I wouldn't argue against Luke. I'm with you on that try. But alas, it remains 12-8, the Penrith lead. Stowers Smith brings it back here, hits it up off Papa Lee, who scored a try in the first half. And now Jackson Ford, who's tackled 17 out to his own line at Northern Anthony Egan. Looks to the left-hand side, on here to Timati Martin. And again, Liam Martin wraps up Timati Martin. 25 out here. Nickel Klugstar getting involved here for the Warriors. Brought down 5 short of the 40. Plays it there for Egan. Second last. Runs the ball. Back to Timati Martin. He's brought down by Sorensen. And also in there Isaiah Yo. 5 short of the halfway. Last play Warriors. They've got their ends up here. The Warriors only trailing 12-8 in the hands of Penrith. High ball there for To'o. Retrieves it comfortably. Brings it down to Anthony's own line. Gains about 13 more. And he'll play it 20 in from the western side. Penrith 12. Warriors 8, Louis.
Now, I'd like to see the Warriors do what they did last set. Just play a little bit more of that second phase play. They really worries the Panthers' defence when they do that. And then they'll get an opportunity again out wide. But it's going to come down to a couple of little offloads up the middle of the field to give them that chance.
15 going second half here on ABC Sports. Somerton finds Alamotti, and he's trying to press his way past Ford and also Stowers Smith. The Platt now tackle 4 over halfway. A good driving run from Leota. And he's tackled now. 37 out from that northern line. Centre field. Somerton links up with Cleary. Running right foot kick out towards that northeastern corner of the ground. Lifting up to Avasashek. Tripped away here by Tungo. It's still set 6 more here for the Panthers, but it's been lost and come loose there for Tuivasa-Sheck. But Ref Atkins will say it was knock-on Warriors first. So a scrum feed here for the Penrith Panthers.
I don't know the player.
I agree here with Kurt Capewell.
Fuck on. Where do you want it?
Looks like Chanel's being cut open as well with bottom lip. Come off there, Tungo. Beg your pardon, Tuivasa-Sheck into Tungo.
I reckon Tungo's takes it, but it's the second play,
Nickel Klugstar. So there you go. So Penrith ball, Michael Carianis. It remains a 12-8 Panthers scoreline. 16 going second half.
Yeah, I think they got that one right by sheer luck, because I think they were actually called the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck to knock on, but if they challenged it, they would have discovered that Chanel Harris-Tavita actually knocked the ball on later, but another attacking opportunity here for the Panthers.
Penrith scrum 15 minutes out now from the Warriors line. Those shoes that right edge of the ground. Tackled is Cleary. Play it now to Somerton. Off to Leota. Straight his run toward the post. Stowers Smith, and also down low Egan. Although he's 4 out, so a good run there from Leota. Play it now for Somerton. Now Yo. We saw the gap there on Timati Martin. Back here to Liam Henry. He's still 2 minutes shy here, left-hand side of the uprights. Play 3, make it 4 now for Penrith. It's been lost, though, retrieved by McLean. There's a set restart for inside the 10. So a full set Penrith back to Lungy. Will play it now for Somerton. Now Cleary. Back now to Liam Henry. Followed there by Egan and also Ford. 5 out, dead to the field here, Panthers. Play 3, it comes to Yo. Off to Cleary. And now again Martin. He presses back in field. Losing 1 tackler in his wake. And now Boyd. Boyd wraps up Liam Martin. So too Nickel Klugstar. Martin still going. Good post-contact game there from the big man. He'll play it 2 out, left-hand side of the sticks. Play 4 Panthers. Oh, it's going to be 6 more again for an inside the 10. So this is just repeat ball after repeat ball for Penrith. Talangi links up with Henry. Johnny played 2 here. Here's the Warriors goal line defence wilting. They come short side. Cleary off here again to McLean. And he takes on the Akoi and Egan. Panthers lead 12-8 here. 18 going second half. Open side right. Cleary. Shares it on the right-hand side now for Edwards. Makes for the Warriors defence here. It comes off to Alamotti. And he charges up that right edge of the field. Tackled 7 out deep in that northeastern corner of the ground. Tungo goes to the dummy half, and Tungo is dragged back by Tuivasa-Sheck. Strong Warriors goal on defence. Last play Panthers. They just keep the Warriors defending. Cleary receives it. Now runs. Won't kick. Won't offload. Changeover. The Warriors hang on. It remains Penrith 12, New Zealand Warriors 8. 18 and a half played, second half, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, great defence there from the Warriors. And Nathan Cleary felt the pressure coming, and he wasn't too sure if he could get the right kick in. He didn't want to give away a 7 tackles set. They give away a penalty here, though, because Nathan Cleary was holding the ball, would have given it to the Warriors. But I don't mind the play there from Nathan Cleary, just to run it back into that corner and get tackled. But to give away a penalty, they should kick upfield now, and they'll get a lot out of that. They'll get a heap of energy back into that Warriors jersey from the way they just defended their line.
Penalty count 6-4 Warriors, MC.
Yeah, the energy's all with the Warriors at the moment. The fact that they defended their backside off just then. James Fisher-Harris comes onto the field for the final 22 minutes.
Beg your pardon, 7-4 Warriors, the penalty count. As you mentioned, the captain into the field here. As we approach the halfway mark of this second half, there is Fisher-Harris. Receives the ball and runs it up over towards that halfway line, 8 short of the halfway. And now it's with Jackson Ford, put down there by Tulungi. The ref saying Blaze, give space. He plays it now to near Corey. Open side left, back to Fisher-Harris. Up inside from the territory he goes. It's his former side. Played here again through Halasima. Last play kick from Harris to Vita. Will land 20 out. Edwards bobbles but retrieves it. And a little bit there for the Panthers. And they'll go. HIA here. So it's Panthers possession still. Will Edwards will be a set after having the ball in his hands a second.
I think it's still an Edwards to play the ball to Warriors.
Sorry, okay, yes. So a bit of reason to play here. Was it good? Egan coming off here for the Warriors.
Sam Healy off the bench, but yeah, another discussion there for Wade Egan.
He's had a few of those, hasn't he? As far as
Sam Healy's a good little runner out the dummy half too. He goes very, very well and is deceptive, so he could be a little bit of a plus here.
Panthers waste no time, sensing a break in Warriors momentum. 12-8 the Penrith lead here. To'o will play it, 30 outside the field. Alamotti breaks away quickly here, but runs straight to Sam Healy. Played here again now to Summerton. And he can, he's head shoved in the turf there by Tamati Martin. He'll play it 8 short of the halfway. Isaiah Yeo takes on Healy and also Fisher-Harris and Stowers Smith. Peter inside Warriors territory. Last play Panthers. It comes to Cleary. Points his kick high up in the air, down towards that 10-metre line. Taken by Tuivasa Sheck. He shimmies away from Henry. Henry gets him in the end though. He'll play it 12 out from that northern line. Dummy half Harris to Vida onto Nickel Klukestar. He ran straight to Moses Leota and also Sorensen. They just hit the hour mark into the nation final. Penrith 12, the Warriors 8. And now again here through Dylan Watney-Lesniak. Takes on Isaiah Yeo. Played to Sam Healy. Open side left, Nickel Klukestar. Up over the field they go here. The Warriors on play 4 as Healy waits at dummy half here with Timani Martin bursting by. No pass forthcoming though, so we'll play it 8 short of the halfway. Last play Warriors. Running kick Harris to Vita. Goes down towards that edge. Edwards slides out, gets the footy. Tucks it back in the field of play, and the Panthers stay alive here with a new set. 20 out from their own line, southern end. They lead 12-8, 19 left in the game off the Carianas.
Had a couple of close calls. Dylan Edwards fumbled the last one and then attacked that one and then did well to pass the ball back on the inside before he slid it over the touchline.
Edwards runs the ball again on play 3. 30 out for their own line here. To'o. Runs into Tanner Boyd and also in there was Jackson Ford. Comes all the way back here as it's kicked end of the set down towards Dylan Watney-Lesniak. So the Warriors retrieve the ball. They trail by 4 points. 12-8 says the scoreboard here. And Watney-Lesniak is run down by Liam Martin. 20 in from the eastern side. 25 out from that northern line now. Tuivasa Sheck. Back here now to Pompey. He breaks one tackle. Not so here on Smith. 5 short of the halfway as it was lost. Lost here by the Warriors. So Penrith's defence, their pressure comes to something here, Louis. They keep a 12-8 lead inside the last 18 minutes of this game.
Yeah, well, they can't really afford to come up with too many errors, the Warriors, especially coming out of their own end. But nice defence there from the Panthers. They had to scramble. They come up with a nice tackle there on Pompey. and just the hand over the top, so it makes the ball come out. Loose carry there from the Warriors. They've got to turn back up again for defence here.
Sounding great, fellas, says that Miles from American will be in Sri Lanka today, drawing the call en route from Galle to Colombo before coming back home as a former News Breakfast regular. Looking forward to seeing Luke's segment, says Miles. Thank you, Miles. What's it called? Luke Who's Talking. There we go. Is that actually what it's called?
What time's that?
Yeah, made it up. So.
Oh, you made it up. That's what it should be called then.
No, it is what it's called.
Okay, here's Tom. 40 out here from that Warriors line. Centre foot it comes. Yo, through hands, and now Moses Leota on play 2 here for the Panthers with a 12-8 lead in their favour. Dummy half Summerton off to Liam Martin. Stands here in the tackle of Catewell and also Harris to Vita. He'll play at 25 out. Open side left here again. Yo to Smith, and now sprinting his way through Garner. His 50th game today for Penrith for West Titan. Turned 30 last week. Played here Summerton. Left-hand side Cleary on this second last play. With a nickel Klugstad who brings him down. 5 out. Northwestern corner of Mount Smart Stadium. Summerton. Open side right here again. Talangi on here to Smith. He's on the charge here. Offloads back to Isaiah Yo. Still the last here for the Panthers, and he's tackled 10 metres out for a changeover. Warriors ball. Outside that northern goal line here. 12-8 is the Panthers lead. 16 left in their second half on ABC Sport. Tim and Lismore, thank you for your text saying no one wants a team in PNG. It's taken this long to get New Zealand to be successful. No one wants to play the PNG team, play there for or against them. Thank you, Tim. 0467920222. Phil in Mudgee says enjoying the game and the call. Agree with Louis about double movement. Just shouldn't happen. They've been resisting and enjoying life. He sure is, our man Maury. Thank you, Phil. Tanner Boyd comes off. I think
I think he hurt his shoulder. He went down for a tackle and he stayed down in the background. So I'm not sure what he's coming off for, but yeah, it didn't look too good in the background.
Towards your text shortly. Here they go. The Warriors on the attack. They trailed 12-8. Played by Tuivasa-Sheck. Fed wide to Watnaza Lesniak. So Aaron Clark's back out there for his fellow former Gold Coast Titan Tanner Boyd. Quite a like-for-like replacement. Here there's a run from Aaron Clark. And he's 30 out from his own line. On tackle 3. Keeley goes himself from dummy half. Tackled straight away by Isaiah Yo. 9 short of the halfway here. On this second last play, they come here to Marty Martin. No options inside, so again, Yo and Smith bring him down. Meter inside Panthers territory. Last play, Warriors, who trailed 12-8. Kick from Harris to meter. It's his first final for Chanel. So he kicks long down towards that corner. Kept alive there by Alamotti. And the Panthers just get the ball back in the field of play. Wow. So, playing on his own goal line here, Alamotti. Edwards bursts away. And he's 5 out from that side of the line house. So, can the Warriors hem them in? Tungol tries to run up beyond that 10-metre line. Driven back by Fisher Harris and also Tanastow with Smith. Deep in that southeastern corner of Mount Smart Stadium. Cleary gives a footy wide into Martin. And then Martin takes on Healy. Plays it now. They're still inside their own red zone here, the Panthers, on the last play. So strong Warriors defence here. Summerton finds Cleary. Just get us out of here, Nathan. But he sends it over the halfway line. Bounce back here. Oh, for Garner. Feeds the pass back to Lungy. He kicks now. It missed McLean. Still there for To'o. He can find some space. Back to McLean. And he goes into the corner to score. Improves the angle. Scores behind the post. That is the most remarkable try for the Penrith Panthers. Sometimes it's just the bounce of the ball. And the Panthers, fortuitously, make it 16-8. Kick to come Penrith.
Absolutely outrageous. They were going nowhere, the Panthers. They did a really good job in defence of the Warriors. But what about the play from Alamotti to start with? Just to get them back in the field to play. They were hardly making any metres. They kicked the ball from 18 metres out from their own line. They get the ugliest bounce you've ever seen. And then all of a sudden ends up in the hands there of Luke Garner. And he just, what are they blowing up there?
Pass from Luke Garner.
It did look like it there, but they can't rule on it.
I know, but it was a forward pass.
Talangi's kick then misses. A couple of the Warriors could have retrieved that ball, but it was an unkind bounce for them then as well with that kick in play.
And that's a great play there from Brian To'o. Little dummy and then around the corner. And there's Casey McLean. He gets the ball.
There we go. So, 16-8 kick to come. Panthers Uncle Carianis.
It's going to be tough for the Warriors to get out of this one from here, but that Luke Garner pass was dead set forward.
It looked at start, but then I didn't see the replay. But then the replay, you hear the crowd go nuts as well.
Yeah, it was forward.
It's also McLean's first career final, debuting round 17 last year. So, Will Edwards will kick here, left-hand side of the posts, to make it 18-8 with 13 minutes left. And he makes no mistake. Panthers 18, Warriors 8 at Mount Smart Stadium. 13 left in this elimination final on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis here. And your text to welcome 0467920222. Hi boys, watching the sunset on the Central Coast. Enjoying the call, says Susan and Darryl. Jeff in Sunshine says Penrith had all the luck in this half. Ref was even right there watching the game. The Garner forward pass that didn't call it, we didn't care. Warriors beaten by a blatant forward pass and double movement try. Great work, refs. Not, says Gary from Townsville. Luca says that's the name of my Italian themed breakfast show though. Luca who's talking. Warren from Blacktown, thank you for your text. Come on Penrith, kick away. I think they're doing that here. Warren, the kick off here comes into the Panthers and taken down by Halasima and Watneza Lesniak. 13 left in this second half on ABC Sport. There is Luke Garner. He said 50th appearance in a Penrith jersey for him today. And the dummy half Somerton. No deal for him next year. Run down by Clark, 30 out. The dummy half Talangi. Low pass in there for Smith, Lindsay Smith. He's claimed 7 short of the halfway. Second last play here for the Panthers. Leona just charging again into Healy and also Fisher Harris. 40 out centre field from the Warriors line. Last play kick Penrith as Cleary's kick goes down toward the wing there of Tuivasa Sheck. Time running out here for the home side. 68 gone. 12 left in the game here. And RTS will play it now for Harris to Vida. Over it comes here again through centre field for Leka Halasima. Turns 20 next week, by the way, Halasima. Played every game in his second year. Away go the Warriors with Watneza Lesniak, 30 out. Played the nickel Klugstar on tackle 4. And there were 3 Panthers dressed in pink waiting for him. Play it now off to Clark and now to Marty Martin. On to Harris. He goes to that ball wide. He wants to check over halfway. Steps in for Darnell Amotti. Flick pass back here again for Halasima. And now it comes back through hands to Marty Martin. Awkward ball. Bouncing near Corey. Fed back. Here is Halasima. Right hand side this time. The pass goes wide behind Watneza Lesniak. And we'll all come to nothing here for the Warriors. 11 left in this game. Elimination final, Penrith to face, if they win, Canterbury next week. 18-8 is the scoreline, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, this is their opportunity here for the Warriors. Just they had to hit down there on the chest. I don't think he scores there, but they get upfield nicely, and then they would have had the Panthers defence scrambling, and just throws out over the sideline. You can see how much he was disappointed in that pass there. But, there's still 11 minutes on the clock, so it's not over yet, but they sort of need a bit of a miracle now.
MC?
Yeah, they need a bit of luck, and Halasima's playing at right centre, done an outstanding job, but yeah, hasn't got into the clear too often, have to pass to the outside, and he just got that timing all wrong. That was a horrific pass.
So Panthers on the attack here, just short of the halfway, and Alamotti on the carry. Inside Warriors territory, 40 out from that northern line. Smith. Lindsay Smith, going to get an offload free here. Tackle 3, Penrith 18, Warriors 8 here on ABC Sport Elimination Final. Isaiah Yoke stands in the tackle of Healy and also Clark. And 25 out here, centre field. Second last play, Somerton. Spin it across here for Talangi. And now Garner through the gap, but not quite as he's collected by Halasima. 11 away, left-hand side of the post. Flat ball from dummy half, does find Cleary. He darts on the inside here. It was still alive, it was socketed forward by Smith. And it's been deemed here a Warriors... called knock-on. Is he saying it's a Warriors lost ball? They're challenging the Lars.
That'll be completed tackle 1. A ruled a knock-on. They're claiming that it stayed between his legs and hit the ground.
Okay. So, 18-8 the score on Michael Carianis, and the Panthers are within 10 minutes of this nation final victory. However,
this is a kick from Lindsay, monitoring Dylan Edwards as offside in the middle.
So let's see if Liam Kennedy finds something here.
Oh, he's inside the 10 anyway.
Dylan Edwards then puts pressure on the Warriors player. He is offside, can never be run onside with him.
Captain's challenge is successful challenge there for the Warriors, MC.
And he didn't drop the ball either.
Yeah, successful challenge. They needed that, the Warriors, because they almost have to score within that next set. Less than 10 minutes remaining, and they're struggling at the moment just to get out of their own end.
Sitting in the car watching the garage door, says Paul of the Central Coast. On your Paul. 0467 920 222. A tap western side here, the Warriors. Halasima carries it back into the tackle of Lindsay Smith and also Blaze Talangi. 18-8 is the Penrith lead here. 9.5 left in the game. Dozer says, Louis, remember, we can't say how disappointed he was with the pass. So tell us his reaction. We heard Louis' reaction, didn't we, on that forward double movement? As here, Pompey and the Warriors over halfway. In fact, he's just short of the halfway. Comes back here now to Aaron Clark. 18-8 is the Penrith lead. 9 minutes left in the game. Healy dummy half across here to the right-hand side. Left behind by the Warriors. Picked up by Toll. He's off in open space. 30 out, 20 out, 10 out. Shut the gate. Brian Toll to ice the game and keep the Panthers alive for a 5th straight premiership. Brian Toll scores a try, and it's 3-2-8. Kick to come. Panthers, Luke Lewis.
Yep, game over. That was it. With Brian Toll, nice pick up. He's been strong this afternoon for the Panthers out wide, but they can't get those passes right. And again, it goes through the hands of Halasima, knocks it on, and then Brian Toll just pounces on the ball, looks up. He's got a 40-metre trot and goes over and scores a try and seals another elimination final next week.
MC, we're seeing finals fatigue creeping in now for the Warriors over late in this game.
Yeah, it's a shame that it's ended this way for the Warriors, because they've been pretty good this afternoon up against the red-hot Penrith Panthers side. But disappointing. They've got to force the pass and try and chase points, and these things happen when you try and chase points.
There are fans blowing up on the SMS about refereeing. Townsville Siegel, thank you for your text. Henri and Ballina. And Jimmy from Knock Row as well. I'm not going to go specifics because I don't want to be rap bashing myself here, but there's a lot of listeners texting in and expressing their chagrin.
I don't think he's had a great game this afternoon either, Grant Atkins, and I feel like Liam Henry's had a shocker.
Liam Kennedy?
Liam Kennedy, what do I say?
Liam Henry.
Yeah, sorry, Liam Henry.
22-8 here. Edwards kicking for the Panthers. He's 1 from 1 so far tonight. 7.5 left to full time. 22 out. 25-degree angle here for the Panthers to make it 24-8. Starts it right, comes back beautifully. Over it goes, that black dot. And it is Penrith 24, New Zealand Warriors 8 here on ABC Sport. Where you are with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis. Around the grounds in the New South Wales Women's Golf, the Knights 32 have beaten St George 10. AFLW full-time, Port Adelaide 43 have beaten Melbourne 41. Third quarter AFLW, the Giants 32 lead the West Bulldogs 25. And listeners, by the way, through the Gold Coast, we'll head off in about 45 minutes time to head off to the AFL semi-final coverage between the Brisbane Lions and Gold Coast Suns. Of course, we're going to hear our footy coverage continuing on the ABC Listen app. Look for us on the ABC Sport button. Otherwise, listen to local radio Gold Coast heading off to the Q Clash final with our man Q at the Gabba and the team. 24-8 here at Mount Smart Stadium. Short kick-off here taken by the Warriors. One back here by Aaron Clark, and they'll keep possession. 38 out.
That was a great kick
from that Panthers line. So, full set here, by the way, with a set restart on play 1. So, Fisher Harris, tackled by Yo. 30 out, 20 in, eastern side. Dummy half, Egan. Timothy Martin to Harris. Now near Cora on the break. Takes on Edwards. Run down there. Here's the back rower by Dylan Edwards, who'll play it 5 out. deep in that southwestern corner of Mount Smart Stadium. From across through hands here, Nickel Klugstar, Timothy Martin, and Yo tackles Clark from behind. 11 out centre field here. Here for the Warriors. Fed back to Vomonga, and now Egan on, play 3. It's come here, Nickel Klugstar, followed by Garner. 24-8 remains the Panthers lead here. He'll play it now to Egan, on to Vomonga, and he's claimed 3 out from that Panthers line. This is last play, Warriors. Kick comes from Egan, dummy half, end over end. Knocks it over the dead ball line, Louis, and it remained with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. Panthers 24, Warriors 8.
That was a nice little kick there from Wade Egan. And a good chase there from Niokoro as well, but really good read from Brian To'o. He's standing on the end of the line, he waited to see what they were going to do. Comes up with a great little tap over the dead ball line and gets the line drop out for the Panthers. He's been good, Brian To'o, for the Panthers. I reckon he's probably one of the standouts.
Gaz says, Luke, who's getting names confused? Bad one. Here's,
bring that up on Monday.
Here they go with... TV's different. TV's so polished, and that's why I hate it. Here comes, I don't hate it, but it's not my preferred medium. MC's a multi-format superstar across all the different.
Well, he's dressed up like he's going on TV now.
20 out to their own line here, the Panthers. 24-8 is their lead on this run from Casey McLean. And some of the things around this game now as well, because the Warriors know they can't win it with 5 minutes left. It's been lost there by Dylan Edwards.
What is going on with him? He made a great tackle of Rado the last set, and now he did the exact same thing last week in Wollongong, Louis. Exact same thing, probably in the exact same spot, coming out of their own end, and he just makes an error like that.
They're going to challenge it anyway for what it's worth. Have a listen.
Why would you challenge that? Unless he's challenged the ball slipped out of his hand.
Capewell is just exiting the ruck. There is no ruck interference. Captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
Helen in Adelaide says, loving the call. If you'd said the Panthers would have been in top 8 at the beginning of the season, you would not have believed it. Please, not 5 in a row for them to give another team a go. Well, they were last after round 12. The Panthers, what it's worth. Well, yeah, they won their first game and then lost their next 5 in those first 6 rounds. But 24-8 in this elimination final at Mount Smart Stadium. Warriors scrum paid 35 out from that southern line. As the seconds and minutes tick down here. Egan dummy half, 30 out. Open side left now for Aaron Clark. Takes on Yo. Down low in there as well is Luke Garner. 20 out centre field. As it's come wide to Timothy Martin. Tries to draw a play here. So we've lost the footy here. It's been now ricocheted back to Alamotti. Not sure he even got to that footy. He was sort of taken off the ball maybe. But it's been an error here for the Warriors. So it will be a Panthers scrum feed, 24-8 their lead with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left. We'll carry on.
Yeah, now for the Warriors, the Panthers just about getting through the next 4 minutes unscathed, right? Like you look at that side, they'll come through this. As I believe on report, I don't think he has too much to worry about. Mitch Kenny's got that hamstring strain. They're confident that he could be back next week, so they're almost full strength, the Penrith Panthers.
Meanwhile, Egan's been cut open, so there's a bit of a delay here while he gets patched up on field, Louis.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a cut on the side of his head. But yeah, look, Panthers obviously took their opportunities when they got them. I feel sorry for the Warriors in a couple of the calls, but at the end of the day, you're going to make your own luck. And a couple of the tries that they did come up with the Panthers to get this win. But I can't believe the Warriors are first out of the competition. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, from where they were, they laid a good foundation, didn't they, across most of the year, of course. Looked to be top 4 calculations as recently as last week. Fell to 6, get the home final, but things just fell away for them by way of injuries and all the rest of it. But they'll be knocked out here by the Penrith Panthers, a familiar face, a familiar team we see in finals action as they chase a 5th straight competition.
They're always going to be hard to beat, though. Doesn't matter how bad they play either. You have to play for 80 minutes. You've got to take all your opportunities to beat them.
Peter from Thailand says 2 questionable tries by the Panthers means no other teams in the finals are looking over their shoulder anymore. Scrum feed here for the Panthers with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game. Brian To'o in the white headgear claimed 30 out from his own line. Smith now, Lindsay Smith for the Panthers, put down 40 out. We'll bring you all the reaction from this game courtesy of the host TV broadcaster. And if there's more coming from coaches later on, then potentially we'll bring that to you as well, because we hand over about an hour from now at Shark Park to Ben Lauder, Dean Hallertau and Matthew Elliott. We'll hear from Lachlan Coote in this next hour as well, reflecting on the 2015 grand final victory for the North Queensland Cowboys over the Brisbane Broncos. That fantastic grand final, fantastic for Cowboys fans anyway, and for most neutrals. Here they go, the Panthers through Smith. On the last play, Panthers 35 out from that northern line. 24-8 is the Panthers lead. Running kick from Cleary goes end over end towards about 5 out from that corner post, northwestern corner. We've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, MC. 24-8 the scoreline.
Yeah, and the Warriors, as we take a moment to reflect on their season, it started in Las Vegas where they were horrifically bad in that opening game, but, started to find their groove and climbed into the top 4. Then injuries just struck to key players. We'll talk about probably 2 of their best players in Luke Metcalf, who was tracking towards a Dahlia medal this year, and then Mitch Barnett as well, 2 ACLs, which really cruelled and halted the momentum. And since then, you feel like they've been treading water in the back half of the year.
2 minutes left. Mount Smart Stadium. Played duty out here. Warriors. Egan has had a head strapped up or taped up here, as that was a knock on there by Nickel Flugstar in the end.
Challenge. Just like you're going into a basketball game, mate. They just get go, time out. Get out.
Sheban at long reach sends his best to Maury and says, grandstand or ABC Sport continues to deliver great calling. Thank you, Shedman. Pass going back to Nickel Flugstar here.
Ooh, tackle that ball. That's good.
On the penny peas from Nin Regali, from Soph and Harry.
There is no touch from Nathan Cleary. We're playing through.
Give Kevin a find out.
Oh, he pulls that back in before he touches Lee Martin, do you think?
Kevin.
It does sort of bounce out a little bit.
The previous one, this has not finished.
Hearing Atkins and Kennedy chat to each other.
Man, before it touches Lee Martin.
Chance takes possession before Liam touches the ball. We're playing on. And then the referee blows his whistle. The captain's challenge is successful.
There we go.
Liam. Well done, son.
So, 2 minutes left and 5 seconds.
It might be over here.
We're going to put some time back on the clock. No, it's just the same. 24-8. Leads the Warriors.
Just wait. Okay.
Warriors play the ball. 35 out from their own line.
Do we get another captain challenge for full time?
We can get going.
Riggy, maybe. They still got one, don't they? They do. Chris from Canberra says, I think you're right, Louis. Panthers will play in the grand final. Thanks. Thank you, Chris, for your text. 0467920222. Clark will play it here, 8 short of the halfway. Running kick from Tumati Martin. Up it goes. Land 30 out there for the Panthers with Alamotti. And that was a selection, I would say master stroke, but of course that was preference there of Ivan Cleary to keep Alamotti in the side and Jenkins 18th man. No space for Tom Jenkins in this Penrith finals team. It's been lost there by Tungo on the pressure from Egan. 20 seconds left. Oh, it's going to be raped. Penrith penalty.
Here comes the challenge. There we go.
There it is.
And third. I'm blaming this on you, Spriggy.
You called it.
We got plenty of time, doesn't that?
Right.
We're going to have a knock on.
We do.
I think he did actually rake it in that first one. Pulls it out there.
More than one player on the tackle. Roger strips the ball. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
Okay, no more challenges for the Warriors.
No more challenges for anybody. We had enough.
Yes. Spriggy, will we get another challenge for half time? Full time.
Minute 25 left.
No, there's none left.
There's none left.
Yeah. I was trying to make you think.
No more challenges.
I'm done with thinking. It's been about 2 hours of pre-game, 2 hours of game. We've got one more hour to come as well before we head across to Estee Shop and Matthew. Matty Elliott. As they come towards halfway here, and the Panthers with Tungo tackled aided from the eastern side. Sumpton waits at dummy half, open side left. To Liam Martin. So those 4 previous Clive Churchills that are out there. He was the most recent one. Cleary times 2. Edwards, of course, a few years ago as well. Also best player of field in the grand final. It's a long way from that at the moment, it must be said, but it will continue to be a thing, I think, for the Panthers. There's still Edwards' form. as Lindsay Smith offloads back here. It's tipped away by Fisher Harris, and that will be another set here for the Penrith Panthers coming up with 35 seconds left. Michael Carianis.
Yeah, it's going to end. We'll probably get one more play potentially, but you mentioned Dylan Edwards' form again. It's just been patchy. He's had a couple of big moments, huge tackle on Murata, like an outstanding tackle. Another one where he almost slid into touch where he was taking a ball on the full, but flung it back inside. But then you've got the uncertainty under the high ball, the play the ball error, which is a cut and paste of what happened last week, and it's happened in the last couple of weeks for Dylan Edwards. So, Nathan Cleary's been good. The rest of the Panthers are in okay form, but it's just a concern around Dylan Edwards.
The Panthers scrum feed here with 12 seconds on the clock. The scrum clock is about a few seconds inside the game clock. And I fancy Brian To'o as he feeds the scrum left-hand side. Thompson swings it across here. That'll be it. And the Mountain Men conquer Mount Smart and take the next necessary step to a potential 5th straight premiership. 24-8 Penrith, full-time in Auckland. Luke Lewis, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, well, they get the job done. I wouldn't say they played their best football today by any means, but they still got the win. They still put on 24 points. I know two of them were controversial, but they still would have won anyway. So they did their job. They went over to New Zealand. They got it done. The weather wasn't too good to either side, but they're still alive, and they're a team that have won 4 grand finals back to back. So it's still scary signs for this competition. I do believe if they play in a nice site like Sunday afternoon, sunny, it's going to be they're going to be a little bit different team to what they were today. But I feel sorry for the Warriors and the fans. They've had a great year, but to go out the way they've gone out tonight, disappointing, but awesome season.
I can say they're not playing Sunday afternoon at least next game. They'll be playing night time. But
I know. I'm just sort of saying that.
Anyway, MC, what'd you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it was a weird sort of old game where Penrith just didn't really have any fluency.
Yeah.
I thought the Warriors defended better, had a bit more intent with the ball. But, they're just Nathan Cleary's kicking game in the first half was the difference in that opening 40 minutes, and then he laid on a beautiful try to Isaiah Papali'i. So I think, in a closely fought game, I think he was probably the difference between the two sides.
Just the one try in that first half, Isaiah Papali'i with the 27th minute 4-pointer, and it was 2-6. So the first points of the game was that penalty to Tanner Boyd. 2-6 the halftime score Penrith, and then Schneider, McLean and To'o all crossed in that second half. Halasima for the Warriors. Yeah, there was controversy around the Schneider try with the possible double movement. There was a forward pass disallowed. That was in the Brian To'o try, wasn't it? At the end there. So there's a few things to pick apart from all of that. But the Penrith Panthers will be continuing on in this finals series, and that is an ominous sign for the rest of the competition. Even being 7th place, as long as the 4-time reigning champs are there, Louis, as you say, that will be something that all the clubs want to watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when it comes to a Penrith side that just got so much experience and skill, and obviously big game players. Like I said, they haven't played their best footy today, but they're still there. So 2 more games to get to the grand final, a couple of big games, and they're playing the Bulldogs now. So that's pretty much set in concrete, right?
That is set in concrete. Saturday night we expect that game between Canterbury Bankstown and the Panthers at Stadium Australia, the grand final venue. It'll be packed full of Doggies fans, I'm sure.
60,000 there.
60,000. A lot of Penrith fans as well will be out there, I'm sure, but because they're NRL controlled games, aren't they? They're not home games, but it'll be massive crowd Saturday night we expect in week 2 of the finals. 24-8 the full-time score. Your text remain welcome. 0467 920 222. Players still shaking hands. We get reaction from our host broadcaster, and have just about the full hour to pick apart this game and look ahead to, I suppose, the game to come tonight, the Sharks and Roosters. In the meantime, here's Nathan Cleary.
How was that grind of a match?
Yeah, it was tough. We knew it was going to be tough, especially over here in front of such a good home crowd. The Bars fans are unbelievable, and they've got a solid team. They've been consistent all year, so I had to grind it out, and happy with the win.
It was quite challenging at the start for your side. The Warriors had a lot of momentum there.
Yeah, for sure, and we knew it would be like that. A lot of people were riding off the Warriors, but they're in this position for a reason. Got the utmost respect for their team and their coach as well, and we knew it would be tough.
and there was a bit of surge of points from your side in the second half. What was the adjustment?
I don't know, I think that's just footy sometimes, luck of the bounce, but we're there to actually capitalise on it. So really happy with that, and just stoked to be going on.
And what part of the momentum from tonight would you like to take forward to the Bulldogs next week?
I think all of it. I think we can build on it. Obviously, it wasn't our best performance, but given the conditions, I thought we adapted quite well and came out with some big plays, and you need that in finals footy.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Nathan Cleary there with the host TV broadcaster, and in fact that is now 4 finals between these two clubs and 4 wins for the Panthers.
Well,
so there you
James
go.
Fisher-Harris,
Let's get to the Warriors captain.
match. How was that for you guys on the field?
I thought we started off pretty well. The first half, just some execution went the other way, and obviously they scored some long tries, but I thought we were in the fight majority of the game. These young boys really put their gloves up this year, and I'm super proud of them. Obviously, not a victim to all the injuries and stuff, but I feel like we'll be better for it next year. And just want to give a massive mihi to the crowd and all our fans.
And when you guys do have momentum, you guys are a bit unstoppable. How does that actually feel when you're on the field?
Yeah, well, I think that's one of our strengths, you know. But yeah, credit to Panthers. They scrambled a lot and shut it down, and obviously they turned it into tries. But yeah, it is what it is.
What part of their game was hard to shut down?
Sorry, what was it?
What part of their game was hard to shut down?
They just had us on the ropes a couple of times. We just made a few errors and little things like that. They just can't do that against a team like this. Obviously they're clinical with position and stuff like that. But I'm proud of the boys. But it's good to have a little burn for next year.
And this was the last Warriors home game for the year. The fans have showed up in the wind and the rain. What have you made of the support for your side this year?
Yeah, just being back home, it's been massive, all the support for the club, the team, and me in general. Just feel the love, and the boys are burning, so I'm sure we're going to put in a lot of money, and we'll be back here next year.
Well, we look forward to it. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
James Fisher-Harris there, whose next task is, of course, captaining the New Zealand international side in the Pacific Championships coming up in a few weeks' time. But, yes, their season does end there. The Warriors, and by the way, there's now 13 straight finals wins for the Panthers. That does continue that record-winning streak. 0467 920 222, your text welcome. 4 tries to 1 there in the end. As I mentioned, 6-2 at half time, 24-8 the full-time score there. 56% possession there for the Penrith Panthers, 85% completion versus 70% for the Warriors. So the errors did come, especially in the second half, MC. Did it feel like they had momentum at certain times? I'll ask you both. The Warriors sort of hit back and scored that try through Halasima sort of early in that second half, but I guess from that point it was pretty well a done thing for the Panthers.
I thought the Warriors had lots of momentum throughout the game. They probably had more momentum.
That late though, like in the last probably half hour?
No, I think after that, when they trailed by 10 or so, I don't think they had enough points in them. They had enough opportunities to really have a crack, but they just couldn't find a way to score points when they needed to.
Yeah, I'm with Michael. I feel like the Warriors did have a lot of momentum. I feel like they played a really good game of football. They just couldn't get across the line of the Panthers, and you've got to give Panthers credit. They just defend their line. They didn't have to play their best, but they scrambled well. There's a couple of breaks, and they did some really good things in the backfield. Paul Adamotti's play was huge. Like, I was going in, he caught the ball in the full, he's going out, he throws it back in the in goal, and he gets that ball out by 1 millimetre, and then they go up. They only make 18 metres, that's it, and they go down the other end of the field and score. So, look, they defended well. They knew what they had to do. They got the job done. Controversial, obviously. There was a try there. There was a forward pass.
Do you expect MC? Well, I'll ask MC as a news point of view. Do you expect that'll be the takeaway from this game a little bit, as far as the?
Yeah, there was definitely. Well, Louis filthy with the double movement. I don't see it as clear cut, but then the Luke Garner inside pass was definitely forward as well. So it's a couple of tough calls against.
My theory on that is I'm not happy with the double movement, right? Because I do believe that the momentum was stopped, and he does get a promotion. There is a player on on the Penrith player on the ground. So at the end of the day, I've seen them stopped in normal games. So we're here in a prelim final, which is not a prelim final, what do you call it, elimination final. I'm expecting that to be a double movement. Forward pass, I can understand the referee's not in position to get it because of where the kick was. I can live with it. But at the end of the day, they're two controversial tries in a pretty big game. But the Panthers still outscored them anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they did a good job. It's good to see the Panthers, struggle a little bit but still find a way to win. And I was pretty impressed with the way the Warriors played. And I do believe if, Luke Metcalf was out there, Mitch Barnett, it could have been a totally different story. But not to be for the Warriors this year.
Penalty count 8-5 Warriors. There were one ruck infringement apiece and 3-0 inside 10-metre set restarts as well for the Panthers. Two players on report, one for either side. Jackson Ford in the first half and Isaiah Papa Lee in the second half for the Penrith Panthers. We expect that the Panthers will face Canterbury Bankstown on Saturday night at Stadium Australia at Sydney Olympic Park. So that's what's to come in week 2. 24-8 the full-time score here. We'll carry on here. Brett Sprague, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis. And coming up next, we'll revisit one of the all-time great finals. A grand final 10 years ago, 2015, Cowboys Broncos. It's all coming up next.
Enjoy quiz shows on ABC iView.
Everyone on your buzzers.
Like Guy Mont's Spelling Bee.
Brought to you by Silent Letters.
Spicks and Specs.
Correct.
And Hard Quiz.
Let's play. Hard!
Always free, always winning. ABC iView.
The 2025 NRL Final Series.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Well, on ABC Sports, all of our finals this weekend are out of the way. But before we look ahead to the rest of tonight and tomorrow, we thought we'd look back on a grand final celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. One of the greatest games in the modern era, the 2015 grand final, which saw the Brisbane Broncos taking on the North Queensland Cowboys in what would turn out to be an epic contest, which the Cowboys won in golden point extra time, 17-16, to give the club its first premiership.
14 metres out, quick play the ball, here it is, 20 out, Thurston, he's done it, he's an immortal, the Cowboys have won the 2015 premiership.
To talk about this game and his career more broadly is the fullback for the Cowboys in that 2015 grand final and recent addition to the ABC Sport commentary team, Lachlan Coote. Lockie made his debut as an 18-year-old for Penrith in 2008 under the watchful eye of our colleague Matthew Elliott and went on to play 83 games for the Panthers over 6 seasons before linking up with the Cowboys in 2014. He actually missed the entire 2014 season with an ACL suffered in the Auckland Nines tournament, and then from 2015 to 2018 played 83 games for the Cowboys, including that grand final victory in 2015. He finished his career with 5 seasons in the English Super League with firstly St Helens and Hull KR, including a three-peat of premiership victories with the Saints in 2019, 2020 and 2021, plus the Challenge Cup title also in 2021. He also played 3 tests for Scotland in 2016 and 1 test for Great Britain in 2019. Lockie Coote, that's quite a remarkable career. How are you?
No worries. Yeah, thanks, mate, for laying all that out. It's good to go down memory lane, and you don't sort of look back onto many of all those achievements, but yeah, when they're laid out right in front of you, it's good to hear.
I'm out of breath just going through it all. Is that right? Matt Elliott handed you your debut as an 18-year-old. What are your memories of getting an NRL call-up as a teenager?
Yes, that is right. Matty Elliott handed me my debut, and it was obviously a dream come true. I think I wrote in my Year 6 farewell book that I wanted to play for the Penrith Panthers, and to be able to fulfill that dream was an unbelievable feeling, especially in front of all my family as my local club. That I did follow the Knights, but I always had a soft spot for the Panthers.
So when it came time to leave the Panthers, was it just a matter of needing a change after 6 years at Penrith early in your career?
Well, I think I never wanted to leave, really, but I think just due to the fact that I had a few injuries, I wasn't playing. When I was on the field, I felt like I was playing okay, but I think based around the injuries side of things, and I spoke with Ivan Cleary at the time, and he just said, mate, it's going to be a good move for you, and that's what I loved about Ivan Cleary. He was always upfront and respectful about things, and he said, mate, go on to bigger and better things, and you've got a great team that you're going to, moving on to the Cowboys, and you're going to enjoy it. So I think that was based around the club's shift in that direction, with moving me on, and At the time, I was a bit devastated to move away from the club that I debuted for and that I grew up wanting to play for. But at the end of the day, it turned out okay.
Speaking of injuries, how tough was it to miss that full year in 2014?
Yeah, very tough. To come to a club and to try and fill Matty Bowen's boots, and then to not be able to give him the chance or to have that chance taken away from you from the Auckland Nines doing my ACL was very tough to not be a part of it. And you almost feel, it's just hard to take because, the club's invested in you and then you've come to the club and, you're injured and you're out for the rest of the year. So that investment that they'd made in me was I couldn't give back.
From the lows of that year, 2014, to the following year, 2015, was there a sense throughout the year that you were on track for something special during the season? Because, of course, you went on an 11-game winning streak after, I think, losing your first 3, wasn't it? So did you sense there was something building about that Cowboys team 10 years ago?
Definitely. Probably not early on. The pre-season went really well. We had an army camp that I thought, the culture that we created from that camp was incredible, and I think that sort of took us into the season. Obviously, we lost our first 3, but after that, and then winning the next game against Melbourne, that was the first time I had ever beaten Melbourne, and we always had tough games against Melbourne for Cowboys, so I don't think they had the best record against them, but to be able to, I think that kicked off our confidence to realise that how good of a team we were and the players that we had, that kicked on that 11 game streak. So, yeah.
What sort of an influence did your coach, the late Paul Green, have on you?
Yeah, massive. He had a big influence on my game. He was a very, very smart coach in terms of just helping out players, thinking a play ahead. He always helped, and that's what he was big on with us, with our spine. He helped with that, so and my kicking game as well. So he was a half. He was a very smart guy, and he definitely took my game to another level.
And the leadership you had, of course, Jonathan Thurston and Matt Scott on the field as well. How significant was that?
Yeah, unreal. And that's why I was really stoked to go to the club, to be able to play alongside Jonathan Thurston, Matt Scott, Jimmy Tarmow, Jason Taumalolo up front. For a fullback to go and run behind them was an incredible feeling to be a part of that team.
On to that famous grand final, Lachlan. What do you remember about the build-up? You finished 3rd on the ladder and from memory, lost the first qualifying final against the Broncos 16-12. You then flogged Cronulla 39-0 in the semi-final in a game that Luke Lewis still talks about, before upsetting Melbourne in the prelim in Melbourne 32-12. About that build-up and the week following that prelim final win.
Yeah, we're pretty devastated, I guess, losing the Broncos again, but to be able to do it the hard way, I guess, that's what we sort of spoke about from memory, and we had some 2 big games coming up against Sharks and Melbourne, but they were some of the best games that, they're the good memories that leading into that, and especially that prelim down in Melbourne, to be able to go down there and put a number on them. It's just something that, most teams don't get to do. So that definitely gave us a massive confidence booster going into the grand final. But I just remember that feeling of, holy shit, we've got the opportunity to go into a grand final here. It's something that I loved and wanted to experience as a young kid.
So we get to the grand final and it's an all Queensland affair for the first time ever in Sydney. What was the atmosphere like when you run out there on the field?
Yeah, it was incredible. I'm still feeling the goosebumps now that I've got. I remember sitting there, sparking up some emotion here. I remember standing there with the boys arm in arm and singing the national anthem, and I knew the part of the stadium where my family was. I was sitting down in front, and I remember looking at them and I was seeing my wife and my kids there and just singing that national anthem. Sparking a bit of emotion now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had tears in my eyes. There was so much emotion around it and just tingles going through my body to realise how special this is. And I remember running off and putting a smile on my face and just going, just enjoy this. This is going to be great. And not realising at the time how great it was going to be, but to be able to finish the way it did Yeah, it was unbelievable.
People talk about just staying present in each moment on days like that and not getting too overwrought, I suppose. But it'd be hard not to, I suppose. Full house there at Homebush, and of course you being a Sydney lad, sort of born and raised here, it'd be a huge thing for you playing for, of all things, North Queensland. We're reflecting on the 2015 Grand Final here on ABC Sport with former Cowboys and Panthers fullback Lockie Coote. People talk about the extra speed and intensity of Grand Finals. Did the game seem to go really fast?
Yeah, it did. It was like a blink of an eye. And there was so many emotions around that game, between the tries and back and forth between tries. And towards the last 5 minutes, I was hurting inside to think that, this what it's going to feel like to lose a grand final. Where did it go wrong? Things like that, all those little thoughts that come into your head. Obviously, you can't think too much because you're in the moment, but yeah, it was an unbelievable feeling.
Have a look at this. Felt one-handed, reaches out, try time. That will be a try. It'll be 16 all. Bobcat, more calling Austin. Can you hear me? Here we go. Decision pending. It is a try. It's 16 all. And now, with no time on the clock, Jonathan Thurston from the Western touchline will have the chance to go into immortality.
Obviously, Cole Felt scores in the corner and levels the scores at 16 all. JT misses the conversion.
21 out on the Western touchline for the 2015 Premiership. Thurston moves in, strikes it. It's hooking. It's off the upright. No goal. 16 all. Thurston screams in anguish. Brisbane is still in it. We're going to extra time in the decider.
Usually in that situation, one team would feel like they had momentum and the other maybe have spent their tickets. Did you feel like, as much as JT could have won the game there and then, you could see it through Golden Point and win?
Yeah, well, I just had that feeling. I know when Cole Felt put that ball down, you could see the Broncos. They were absolutely devastated. And towards the end, they were sort of just hanging on, I would say. And, both teams didn't have much energy because it was a ridiculously hot bloody afternoon that day. We were spent. But to see Cole Felt put that ball down, watching Broncos body language, I felt as if, if JT misses this, we go into extra time. I felt as if we're going to be on top. We just had that feeling. And I think when JT did miss that field goal, we all ran over and said, "We've got this. We've got your back here. We'll get this in extra time." That was the confidence around us.
And then fortuitously, Ben Hunt drops the kick off.
What you wish for, Andrews, shows up. Here's Kyle Felt. My next wish is to win the lottery. Oh, here's a knock-on from Hunt. He's knocked on the kick-off. Cowboys are going to scrum feed 10 out.
And then shortly after, JT nails that field goal to win it. Where were you for that very final moment, that winning field goal?
I was off to JT's left, ready in position if he needed me. I think Morgan was off to the right.
14 metres out. Quick play the ball. Here it is. 20 out. Thurston. He's done it. He's an immortal. The Cowboys have won the 2015 Premiership with a field goal. 2.5 minutes into extra time. The crowd on their feet. Jonathan Thurston has won the game for the Cowboys. 17-16. He's kicked the field goal.
But seeing that field goal unfold, and to think that it finished so quickly in extra time, like it usually, we're ready to go for the whole 10 minutes.
Yep.
But for it to unfold and go that quickly, I was happy the way that it ended, because I don't think any of us had any energy left to go the 10 minutes. But it was an incredible feeling to just know that, wow, we've done it.
And of course, the rule did change with grand finals. We no longer have instant golden point, but extra time, 5 minutes each way, with golden point only required up to 90 minutes. So do you think that's fair enough, that your victory, I guess, influenced that rule change?
I guess so, yeah. but I guess, Wayne Bennett has a big influence on the game and probably why that rule got changed. But I didn't see any issue with the previous thing. But yeah, I guess if you go into extra time, there's no golden point. It sort of it gives the opportunity to both teams, I guess. But if Benny Hunt holds onto that ball, we probably play the whole 10 minutes. So it's just the way it unfolded. And I guess that's how rule changes come into play when things happen, when incidences happen.
We hope for something equally as exciting in this year's Premiership decider. I understand you recently had the 10-year reunion. What's it like catching up with all your old teammates 10 years on?
Yeah, it was awesome. It actually felt, because we had a luncheon with some, the sponsors and whoever wanted to come along, and it was a really good catch-up. It actually, after that, we caught up just together at dinner, but it actually felt like we were still part of the team, and we were just on an away event, away playing a game and sitting around having a laugh and a few drinks and some dinner. But it was really good to catch up with the boys, and that luncheon was awesome. Go down memory lane and talk about some of the stuff that happened in the game, but also to talk about some of the stuff that happened back in Townsville after the grand final.
Yeah, and you actually played the same number of first-grade games for Penrith and the Cowboys, 83 games I mentioned for each of those clubs. Of course, the Penrith, a team you had a soft spot for growing up, of course, now being based in Townsville these days, post your playing career, and maybe having tasted that grand final success. Do you feel like more of a Cowboy when you look back on your career, or more of a Panther?
Yeah, I'll probably feel more of a Cowboy. I think it's always hard to say. It's been great watching Panthers dominate over the last 5 years or so. And I do sort of barrack for them if they're in the grand final, but it'd be awesome to see Cowboys come back again. And I'm supporting the boys here up in Townsville and around the club, so it is good to. And yeah, like I said, I definitely feel probably more like a Cowboy.
I was going to say, 10 years on, the club won't be, achieving a similar thing this year. It hasn't been the ideal year for Todd Payten's Cowboys. How does that club there turn it around?
I think just the connection within the group, you can see it, and it showed in their defence at times throughout the year that they struggled to sort of show up for each other. They're probably not a well-connected team when teams are doing that. So it's always hard to judge from outside looking in, but just going off experience, I feel as if they can get a real nice culture in there and stay really connected, then that shows up on the field as well.
Just lastly, Lockie, I mentioned the way you finished your career with those 5 years in England. What was your takeaway from finishing your career in the UK?
It was awesome. I love the culture that they create over there, the way they sing, they carry on. I enjoyed myself a lot. Me and the family, we connected really well, me and the family. I advise if anyone was considering going over, whether it's early in career or late in the career, I would take it on, because it's one experience that you don't want to miss out on. And to be able to be successful over there as well, thinking that my career was coming to an end, I felt like it only just got started when I went over there.
There might be a few players pondering that at this time of the year right now. Lockie, appreciate your reflections. The emotion in your voice is so apparent. It's a special time of year, of course, for all players to reflect, and potentially for the lucky few to get to taste that success as you did 10 years ago. Appreciate your time.
No, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Lockie Coote with his reflection on the 2015 Grand Final, an all-time game played 10 years ago in a few weeks' time. And I hope you enjoyed that, Cowboys fans. Sorry, Broncos fans, but at least we're still playing in this year's final series. If you enjoyed that, by the way, I did see last week, our man Jared Ryan on our socials did a little sort of snapshot of that game. It actually was Maury's first year for the ABC. It was his first grand final call for the ABC. But Jared's Instagram post, which is about a week or so old, had all the key moments from that grand final. Of course, we played a few of them there as well, but Cowboys fans can relive that and all that sort of stuff, which was just fantastic. So we're doing, our look backs on the grand finals of the fives, Louis. And now I'm thinking, you're looking forward to next year, because next year is the 10-year anniversary of 2026.
Yeah,
so you get to do a million little retrospectives on the Sharkies.
Yeah, it'll be good. It was an awesome year, 2016. So we've got our reunion, our first reunion next year. The boys are already putting it out there. They're getting some plans done. Fingers crossed. It's at Shark Park when Melbourne Storm play the Sharkies. That's what it's looking like. So
right.
If I'm still here next year, Ralph, and you schedule me in, just book me out that night. But I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome.
0467 920 222 is the SMS number. We'll get some more reaction from you, and indeed from the game which just finished up at Mount Smart Stadium in front of 25,500 people. The Panthers 24 beat the Warriors 8. Now, if you are listening through ABC Local Radio Gold Coast, you're heading off to coverage of the AFL semi-final, the Brisbane Lions and the Gold Coast Suns. If you want to keep listening to our coverage here of the Rugby League, you can do so via the ABC Listen app. Just look for the ABC Sport button there, or indeed streaming online or via ABC Sport Digital as well. But listeners throughout local radio on the Gold Coast, who's your tip, Michael? Brisbane, Gold Coast? Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Enjoy the AFL, and we'll farewell you right now. While we continue on here, you are with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis. And indeed, let's get to Shark Park and set the scene firstly there. We're still over an hour or so from kickoff, but Glenn Lauder is in position along with Dean Hallertau and Matthew Elliott. Glenn, good evening.
Hello, Spriggy. Yes, an hour and 20 away from kickoff, but tried telling the fans that. I got here around about 45 minutes ago or so, and I reckon they were about 300 or 400 deep out the gates waiting to get in here at Shark Park. They absolutely love their side. They love finals football, but they will obviously be hoping for a better result than they got in 2023 when the Roosters last visited for an elimination final. That was a 6v7. The Cronulla Sharks in sixth place, going down 13-12 to the Roosters on that occasion, thanks to a Sam Walker field goal. He's back in that Roosters side tonight. Nico Hines had a couple of field goals charged down on that occasion as well, and James Tedesco ended up in the sin bin. That was an absolute cracker of an elimination final. On this occasion, it is 5th versus 8th. Unfortunately for the Roosters, in terms of 8th placed sides, they've only won 4 times since 1999 in the first week of the finals, going back to the old McIntyre system. Matthew Elliott will be on the sideline for us this evening. We'll get to Matthew in just a second, but Dean Hallertau, almost as always, alongside me in the commentary box again, particularly here at Shark Park. Dino, obviously getting back to suburbia. There's been a lot of talk around Shark Park and its suitability for finals footy, but we love coming to a packed suburban ground, and especially on a night like tonight when it is last chance saloon for both teams. And geez, really evenly matched sides as well, with fantastic ends to the season.
Yeah, certainly, Glenn, and good evening, Matthew, as well. You're right about Shark Park. It is a suburban ground and it is challenging venue for a finals match, but we know it's going to be full. We know it's going to be heaving. The fans down here in the Shire love getting behind the Sharkies, so there's going to be a good atmosphere here regardless, so we're looking forward to that. And like you said, both teams are fairly evenly matched and have had some really good form heading into the back end of the year. I think the Sharks are probably a bit bumpier. That performance last week against the Dogs was huge. The Roosters, on the other hand, I feel like they've been really building the season nicely, and they come into this final series, in my mind, as one of the form teams.
Yeah, I guess, Matthew, good evening to you. One of the things that may worry Cronulla, they have won 7 of their last 8 games, but when you look at the teams that they've played against, South Sydney, North Queensland, St George Illawarra, the Gold Coast and Newcastle, teams that aren't featuring in the finals, particularly the Gold Coast and Newcastle at the back end of the season. That was a really good win last week over Canterbury, but do you feel as though they're conditioned maybe for finals football as well as the Roosters are when you look at the results against particularly Melbourne a couple of weeks ago?
Well, momentum is momentum. And the Sharks don't get to choose who they played against, but my observation is that if you looked at the form of both the teams, you'd have to say the Roosters are in stronger form at the moment. I really liked, and this is going to be slightly controversial, Nico Hines playing halfback with Daniel Atkinson last week allowed him to be in charge. Again, with Trindle coming into the team, I think they're both amazing players, but I just feel like it compromises the decision-making in key plays.
Dean Hallertau, obviously, Matthew's coached the game for a long time. You've played the game for a long long time as well. Is it hard when, as a player, both halves are trying to run the show maybe similarly to each other?
When you're a player, you're used to hearing one voice direct you around the park, and then the other half, generally the six, is kind of running off the back of that. Obviously, they both know the game plan. Halves get coached throughout the week together as a pair, and they get given the game plan from the coach and have to execute that. But it is easy to listen to one voice telling you where to go, and you want that voice to be strong. And it's probably, and I'm guessing here what Matt's saying with the partnership between these two, but Nico's voice is probably more empowered when he's by himself. When Braden's out there, perhaps he kind of gives a little bit and maybe gets a little bit more lost.
So, Matthew, how does this one play out this evening? Obviously, we've spoken about the Cronulla halves, but Hugo Savala and Sam Walker have been in wonderful form as well. And their fullback, James Tedesco, started the season under clouds about where his future lay. And he's, won the ABC Player of the Year in a Canter. He could win the Dally M. He'll probably be on the Kangaroo Tour. How does it play out tonight?
I think this game's won and lost through subtleties. So what we know about the Roosters, they're a high-risk, high-reward team. So what's really important for the Sharks is the way they defend and keeping ball in play. If they can keep ball in play, and really make Walker do a lot of defensive work, and I've got no doubt that, Fitzy will be spotting him up, but it's their defensive play, and it's also keeping ball in play.
Yeah, last week against the Dogs, that was a real feature for the Sharks, was their defence. They scrambled really well, but for the majority, the systems are really, really tight as well. The Dogs looked out of ideas as the game got further and further along, so if they reproduce that tonight, it'll go a long way to shutting that down.
And the result of that is that Roosters, when they shut it down, they play higher risk footy, more errors, and then that gets Sharks the game.
I know we're still an hour and 15 or so away from kickoff, but can we get tips from you guys this early, Matthew? How do you think, who's off to Mad Monday tomorrow? Or on Monday?
I've got to be careful because I've got a neighbour who doesn't have any hair. He's not that far away from me. So if the word gets back to him that I go for the Roosters, and it is Mad Monday, I could get my lawn mowed for free. Look, honestly, I think the Roosters are coming to this game favourite. And I know that's, when you've got 5'8" playing, you normally go for the team coming fifth. But I just think Roosters' form, and you look down at the personnel they've got in their team, if they get it right, they're going to be very hard to contain.
I'm a bit split myself, and look, I'm going to tip the Roosters because I think they are just slightly ahead coming into the game. But, for me, the Sharks last week was a really great launching pad into the finals. If they can do that, they give themselves a really good shot. I'll sit off the fence with the Roosters.
You speak about your neighbour, Matthew. I actually had the pleasure or displeasure, whichever way you look at it, of being taxi driver for two Cronulla fans this evening. So I'm probably going to tip the home side just so I have a peaceful drive home, I think.
You know what Cronulla fans are like. They show up at this facility, so that they're pretty tolerant.
Speaking of this facility, we will also be speaking to Cronulla CEO Dino Mezzatesta in the pre-game. Spriggy, that'll be interesting to hear his thoughts around about the future of Shark Stadium in finals football, particularly given the comments of Andrew Abdo this week. Just on team news, we are expecting Britt Nikora to come back into the side after that suspension. Daniel Atkinson came into the side in jumper number 18 to replace Tom Hazelton, who has been ruled out. But don't be surprised if Nikora comes back in somewhere in that 17. At the moment, the Roosters are 1-17. We're not expecting too many changes. Todd Smith will be in charge in about an hour and 10 minutes time, Spriggy.
Great stuff, Glenn. Thank you to you and the crew there. We'll get to you in just under half an hour's time for the full build-up to that game there at Shark Park, the Sharks and the Roosters. And the good thing is the boys are actually inside, because 2 years ago, myself, Gibbsy and Dean Hallertau were calling from outside because they couldn't accommodate all the radio broadcasters, even the one that's there every week.
Well, that's ridiculous because we're there every week and we should be in the box.
Well, they are this week, yeah. So that's been rectified from 2 years ago. That very same opponent, Sharks Roosters, and he will bring you Glenn, Dean and Matthew coming up after ABC News. Weird that we have one confirmed finals matchup now locked in for next week, but now the other side of that draw is still to be decided, the whole lot with Roosters, Sharks and Raiders, Broncos.
How good, how exciting.
Yes, it is exciting.
I'm actually really excited about this next game. I think this game and tomorrow's game, for me, are the two games of the weekend.
Yep.
Tonight, I can't split these two. I think the Roosters are playing really well, and they've had a lot of great form going into where they are. The Sharks have been thereabouts, but we haven't seen that most brilliant game from them yet. They played well against the Bulldogs last week, but at Shark Park, with this kind of game on the line, it will bring something different out of them. So I feel like it's going to be a real arm wrestle tonight. It's going to be I can't wait to get in the car and listen to it.
There's one key thing here for me, Michael Carianis, and this idea that Cronulla is not a finals team, a team that handles pressure or finals pressure. The numbers support that. They've won just 2 of 12 finals dating right back to the 2016 grand final. So lost 10 of 12 finals. So that alone is a point to prove for the Sharks.
Yeah, I don't know if they're not a finals team. I just don't know if they've got the caliber of players that can match it with the big guns. That's my concern. If James Tedesco was playing for the Sharks, I'd be tipping the Sharks. That's you know what I mean. They don't have that player that can just turn a game.
Yeah, an X factor.
That's what they need. They're desperately lacking. You go back to the 2016 side, and there was a couple, but Ben Barber had a magical season, right? So I think that's the concern for the Cronulla Sharks is they just don't have someone to create something out of nothing. Where the Roosters have a few of them. You got Tedesco, you got the one that Tuase. There's a few of them there that have, can do it, right? So I feel like that's going to be the difference in the side. And you know, if you sat down and break down the two sides, where Cronulla should have the advantage is the experience in the halves. That's where they should. And they should be able to control the tempo of the game better than what the Roosters can, but I'm just not sure they will.
That's coming your way next here on ABC Sport. The Sharks and the Roosters. Earlier at Mount Smart Stadium, the Panthers 24 defeated the Warriors 8. And your texts have come through as well. 0467 920 222. Jamie says only came in halfway through that match, but it sounds like the Warriors were cheated out of a win just now. Again, I think as much as Louis said, there were things in that game that were questionable. That wasn't the difference. The Panthers were clearly...
The Panthers, even if those two tries got disallowed, the Panthers still outscore them, right? But it probably hurt them. It hurt the Warriors' mindset a little bit. But, I still... They did enough, the Panthers. And, look, the Warriors were really good, but they just couldn't get past the scramble defence of the Panthers.
Chris here from Canberra sent his text earlier. I mentioned that before. Lucas says this season has flown by faster than Spriggy reads out texts. Yes, I do get them out there pretty quickly while the game's on in particular. Thank you, Luca. Filthy Phil, thank you for your text. Dan in Brisbane says from 8th, the Panthers end up playing the teams most down on form in the whole top 8. Sometimes
it's the luck of the draw, that.
Yeah, it is. That's
Playing.
But I know you. Ooh. What's your solution, Louis?
What's that?
That you can choose who you play.
No, that was your idea.
You want to choose...
Spriggy, take control, mate.
I think you wanted to choose what days they play. Well, teams do try and dictate what days they play. Anyway.
That was Michael kicking me under the table saying, let's G Spriggy up. And you fell for it.
Wouldn't be the first time. Jason from Gloucester says, as usual, great call. Thanks. Still so frustrating when wrong decisions by a ref can clearly impact the game. It's finals and simply not good enough. Thank you, Jason. Craig from Foster, great call. Talk about forward passes. The Wallabies scored a late try, which was about 3 metres forward, and it was allowed. Fair dinkum, says Craig from Foster. John in Rouse Hill. Hi, boys. You might not agree with me, but it's impossible to call a forward pass on the television unless it's metres forward, in which case the ref would call it. When watching football on TV, I'm happy to go with the ref's call either way, even if the call's against my team, says John. I think a lot of fans don't fully understand the interpretation of forward passes and momentum out of the hand and blah, blah, blah. So
I've only had one look at the Ghana one, but I thought it was forward.
And I'm happy to go with the referee's call on there because there's no way in the world any of them were in position to be able to see that.
Wow, what great memories regarding the 2015 grand final. Was that Maury's first year on the ABC? Yes, it was, Luca. He says, Maury, Matt and Boxy. Yes, Bobcat, our man, Andrew Ryan. What a blast from the past, says Luca. Brian from Umina, why do we have such a problem with the draw in the regular season? Some teams don't deserve to win, and conversely, some don't deserve to lose. Golden points in finals, but draws are great for the comp.
Oh, a draw, sorry, okay.
Why don't we just have a draw?
Okay, sorry, I thought they meant like the fixtures. Why don't we have a draw? Look, I'd be comfortable with a draw, but I don't see us ever going back to it now.
Yeah, it's been a film. When did we bring in the extra time or golden point in
20 years?
Isn't Wayne Bennett big on that? He's happy to he wants to have a draw.
Yeah. It'd be 20 years.
And as Lockie Coote pointed out as well, he was big, Wayne Bennett being on the other end of that grand final loss as to why we now have 90 minutes or 10 minutes of extra time.
Need extra time in a grand final. Far out. You shouldn't lose a grand final without. I know Brisbane touched the ball in that one, but you shouldn't lose a grand final without the opportunity to touch the ball in extra time.